Gamescom 2026. The biggest video game convention in the world is back, and IGN is bringing you every second of it live from the Gamescom show floor. Tune in for new looks at the coolest new games from studios like Nintendo,
Have begun!
Xbox, Square Enix, Sega, plus so much more. IGN's live coverage of Gamescom 2026 starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Gamescom Studio 2026 here on IGN. I'm Damon Hatfield. Joining me today are Jane Douglas and Max Scoville.
Gamescom officially kicked off with opening night live, but that was just the beginning. We've got a huge show planned this year with tons of coverage rolling out over the next 5 days.
That's right. We'll have tons of gameplay, trailers, and developer deep dives, plus the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show 2026 happening Thursday night, and the Gamescom Award Show happening on Saturday.
If you want a great way of keeping track of the games you're most excited for, scan the QR code on the screen to check out the Gamescom Steam event, where you can wishlist any of the games being shown off.
Now let's see what's going on out on the Spotlight stage.
Hey, Jim here. I'm on the show floor checking out this beautiful Mercedes-AMG GT Coupe, which probably costs more than my house. I've also been looking at the Witcher 3 Songs of the Past DLC. There's new Mega Man. There's loads of cool new stuff. But before all that, let's have a look at the new stuff coming to Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight.
For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to make people laugh. Sometimes you really have to hit them over the head with a punchline. Enough about me. Let's talk about you, Dr. Harleen Quinzel!
Call me Holly.
You like breaking the rules, don't you?
Ready, Mr. J?
Catch that clown!
Come on, Mr. J. Let's have some fun.
Task Force X. We've got trouble coming our way.
Earlier this year, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight mashed up some of the Cape Crusaders' most iconic appearances to tell a whole new story. And next month, the Clown Prince of Crime is getting his turn in the spotlight. Here to tell us all about the all-new Mayhem Collection DLC, please welcome Tim Spencer and Chris Payne from TT Games.
Hi. Thank you very much.
Why so serious? Let's talk about this. So this is Joker and Harley DLC. There's a story mission. There's new Mayhem Mode DLC. Can you just give us the rundown about what we're going to be doing here?
Yeah, so September the 18th, that's when everything comes out. As part of the deluxe edition for the game, we have a Mayhem mode as part of Mayhem Collection. So as part of that, you get a whole new story mission featuring Joker and Harley breaking out of Arkham Asylum. And then once they're out and about, they're trying to make their mark on the city. So you get this Mayhem mode as well that you get to play with. On top of that, you also will get a Sinister Pack, which is a collection of new outfits, props for your Batcave, and a new vehicle to play in the base game as well.
Nice. Now, I feel like the base game was very, very Arkham coded. Like it was. You wore those on your sleeve. It was very much, that experience. This feels kind of more akin to what we've seen from like older Lego games. It feels more kind of like you can steal cars. It looks like it's kind of looks a little more chaotic. Tell us about what is Mayhem mode exactly.
So within the mode itself, you'll have a limited amount of time to cause as much chaos as possible. Your main objective will be to complete builds around the city that will leave a lasting impression. So you want to make sure everyone knows the city belongs to Joker and Harley. You'll see the city evolve over time, so Joker and Harley signals in the air, fireworks, all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, it is that sense of chaotic Lego gameplay and play within the Mayhem. So yeah, that using the villainous play within a fun setting, so not too sinister, but just the right amount.
I think from a gameplay point of view, when you talk about the base game, Batman, the Bat family, those characters have always been very athletic, agile. They've had a ton of gadgets. I mean, when you've got a billionaire funding you tend to get a lot of gadgets. Whereas with the Joker and Harley Quinn, they don't necessarily have that kind of backing. They don't have that kind of style or aesthetic. So when it came to actually looking at the gameplay, we sat down and said, well, yeah, we love the flow combat that we've got in the base game, and we still want to have that as part of what the core is for the combat, but we wanted to update it so it suited the Joker and Harley Quinn more. So their gadgets and abilities are ones that actually lend themselves more to doing sort of ranged combat, more to kind of like hit and run, and also more chaotic, because Joker's got a paintball pelter, Harley Quinn's got a confetti fun gun and a bubblegum gun. And she also has her hyenas, Bud and Lou. The Joker's got his extendable boxing glove. So we looked at kind of the gameplay abilities and went, yeah, we can't just take what Batman does and stick it on these characters. We need to make this unique for them.
And they don't just do it all themselves either. We've replaced the takedowns from the base game. They made a lot of sense for Batman and the Bat family, but for this, we've got instead the crew system. So you'll be able to recruit new Arkham inmates from your escape in Arkham and create a team to do your bidding for you, because it feels very Joker themed.
I'm into this. I love this. My question was going to be like, what can Joker and Harley do that Batman and family don't besides murder? But that sounds like quite a lot. How do the hyenas work? What do they just kind of? What do they do?
So, I mean, when you actually spawn them, as it were, Harley calls them in. You can actually control them, so you can get through different areas with them. You can activate different things with them, and you can use them in combat as well. So they're just part of Harley's ability set.
Use them to open up some locked shops, to do a bit of looting.
Nice.
Now, some gems.
You guys are not shy about references and Easter eggs and all that. With the base game, obviously it was pulling from a lot of Batman appearances. There's a lot of Batman media, but Batman has a lot more on-screen appearances than Joker does. What were you kind of drawing from for Joker and Harley the most? Like, where were you kind of looking at for the story beats?
Definitely heavily influenced by the animated series. The intro cutscene is actually shot in 4:3. We wanted to create that feel of the animated series, but we've pulled from all sorts. We've got lots of comic references, some iconic costumes from the comics. We've got the Cesar Romero 66 suit. We've got the Absolute suit for Harley Quinn, I believe.
Was that the Dark Knight Returns, the white one in there too? Was that what I saw?
Yes.
Yes, love it. Now we also get a glimpse of a bunch of other, kind of larger DC universe characters showing up. What's their role here?
So yeah, while you're out on these kind of time-limited runs in the city, causing mayhem, about 5 minutes into any run, well, Amanda Waller is aware that you have broken out of Arkham Asylum. So, of course, she's going to send in Task Force X. So at that point, we have 12 different Task Force X members in there. A random selection of 4 will arrive to try and stop you, and they will hunt you down in the city. And I think one of the great things about it is because we've got 12 characters, and each time they spawn, it's a random 4. Their kind of configuration, their abilities, the things that you're facing changes each and every single time. So we're trying to make sure that we, get that broader scope of the kind of world of Batman and the other characters coming in there as well.
Okay.
And it's kind of fun to be villains facing off anti-villains, I guess.
Yeah, no, something just clicked for me. Like, you've got a mayhem meter, you're running around causing chaos. It almost reminds me of some other open world game where you have a wanted level that goes up, and then maybe you do enough damage and, high-powered, law enforcement agencies show up. Is it at all inspired by that?
No comment?
No, I mean, I think the way that we designed this mode, we knew that, okay, Joker and Harley are going to be out in the city causing chaos. The Caped Crusader, he's going to be like, well, hang on a minute, I'm getting calls that they're up there. So we knew that there was always going to be, Batman and Robin were going to turn up and be chasing you down at some point. So that's why we limited the time on it, because we knew there was going to be a point where Batman and Robin show up to come and try and defeat you. You can actually extract early as well to kind of keep all of the loot that you've got so far. But you've got Argus, who are out there as well as part of Amanda Waller's team. You've got roadblocks there, you've got these characters patrolling around, so you're fighting them, as well as trying to sort of rescue other inmates at the same time. So really we were just looking to how much mayhem can we add in there? And when you combine it with driving vehicles and the crew that you can spawn instead of the takedowns, you can have up to 5 crewmates as well per character, so you can have 10 extra characters there with you.
Oh, wow, okay.
Plus fighting all of Argus, plus you're, being Joker and Harley yourself. It was not inspired by that, but we just looked really at the direction was looking at how much mayhem can we cause, how much can we push it.
Well, I feel like that's such a core principle of just open world games in general. There's always that urge to be like, I can go anywhere, I can do anything. Well, I'm going to do bad stuff. And that definitely is suited better to a criminal than a superhero.
If it's with Lego, you're always smashing stuff, you're always breaking stuff, and it's that sort of whimsical sense of mayhem that we're trying to capture.
That's super fun. As far as vehicles go, obviously the Bat family, they got the Batmobile, the Bat Cave. What's the clown version of that?
So you're able to actually steal vehicles about the city, and you're rewarded for doing so. There's a whole bunch of different fun vehicles. So you got ice cream vans, fire trucks, but also every now and again you might see a hero vehicle out there. So you might see a Batmobile or the Nightwing's wing cycle, for example, and be able to hijack that if they're out on a mission.
So rather than being able to spawn vehicles like Batman, again, Batman, he's got the technology to call in his car whenever he wants. Joker and Harley don't have that. So one of the power-ups that they can get, a piece of equipment, is the skeleton key, which allows them to then access any vehicle that's there. So you see a vehicle, you can go and take it and smash through objects and earn more studs and earn more time. So
I love it. There's so much chaos. That sounds like a very good time. Now we got a little more time here. I want to talk about the Switch 2 version. Are there any Switch 2 specific features that you've added?
Not specifically, no.
It's just been working on making sure it runs as clean as possible, and we've got it to a point where we're really happy with it. On top of that, we do have a feature for all systems that will be a free update. So we're introducing the Absolute mode, which is a new difficulty setting, one higher than our current highest. So you'll be limited to just a single life before you'll hit a reset and have to restart an encounter. But on top of that, we've done a bunch of different stuff to make the combat itself more difficult. So we've removed things like prompts for when to counter, when to dodge. You're going to have to read enemy signals as you're playing and really pay attention to the environment around you.
Yeah, we heard the fans.
Okay.
Because on every bit of social media out there was a lot of people saying, I've played the game on the highest difficulty. I want it harder. So we were doing the work for the expansion, and we were sat there going, look, do we have space to put this in? And we were like, we really want to do this. So yeah, we managed to beg, borrow, and steal people, and we got this new absolute difficulty mode in there. And as Chris says, a lot of the kind of markers, a lot of the tells, say when brutes are going to charge at you. Previously, you'd have a sort of line that would tell you where it's coming. That's completely gone now. So you're having to look at the animations, at where things are. Every encounter you get to, you need to be looking at your spatial awareness, what enemies are where, which ones are attacking when, and really make a kind of like conscious choice of, I need to plan this out, how to do this. And it just makes every single encounter in the game so much more engaging. And really present with that. And this is a completely free update that's coming to every single platform in the base game. You don't have to buy the deluxe edition.
Although it works really well with the DLC.
Yeah.
Mayhem runs themselves. If you lose your last life in that ends the run. So it creates this real feeling of tension. You got to not just be watching your timer for the run, but also watching your health constantly.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, the deluxe edition on Switch comes with a really cool little thing. It's a minifig of Batman in the old NES Sunsoft outfit, right? Did you bring one? You brought one?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
So I want to know.
This you can have that. That's yours.
Thank you. That is so sweet of you. This is, I think, really cool. I want to know how this came together. Like, who did you have to call for this? Like, is it?
I mean, that's probably a question for the marketing team and Lego, really. But no, I mean, we on the development side, obviously, we saw that was going to be a pre-order for the Switch 2 version. And as soon as I saw that, showing my age here now, but as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, that's just nostalgia for me. I need to have
Definitely
that.
a personal favorite suit within the game.
You're like, we need to make the game as difficult as the Sunsoft one. We got to put it in absolute difficulty version. This is so cool. Thank you so much for this, but also for coming by and chatting about this game.
No worries.
The Mayhem Collection DLC drops September 18th, the same day that Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight hits Nintendo Switch 2. If you get the deluxe version, it's got a really cool minifig. But right now, there's more Gamescom Studio 2026 coming up right here on IGN.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Metro 2039.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, like, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
What's up, everybody? Nick and Jim here with IGN at Gamescom 2026. Jim, you just saw the new Witcher 3 DLC. Tell me about it.
Well, it's DLC for an 11-year-old game, which I don't know, 2 years ago would have sounded absurd, but now all bets are off. No, it's incredible. We were shown like an hour of a hands-off demo, a live demo, but hands-off. There was like a lot of us in a sort of cinema looking at it. I was sat next to Doug Cockle, who was like very proudly watching his own work, and I do that, so I get it.
We all do it.
But yeah, no, it's great. And the one thing I thought was really interesting about it was this feels substantial in a way that you maybe wouldn't expect. You know, because like Ubisoft have done late game DLC.
And it's like an hour or two, you know.
It's like it's literally just there to facilitate, like the one they did with Odyssey, just to facilitate a crossover with, Valhalla.
Somebody else.
So, I think you'd be forgiven for expecting that sort of thing. But no, this is like a full expansion. And in the demo, they focused, which I thought was surprising, they focused a lot on a really quite a long sort of 5-10 minute dialogue scene.
Yeah.
All in one location, very theatrical, very lavish sort of manor house, which is the ancestral home of Jaskier, of Dandelion. And people have been speculating online about whether or not this DLC is all going to be about Dandelion.
You could kind of guess that because Songs of the Past,
well, yes, of course,
it would make sense.
That Songs of the Past is his entire deal. So but yeah, so it's all about him and finding him. He's gone missing, and his family dynamic. But there's a lot of intimate sort of family drama moments.
Okay.
Beautifully motion captured. In a way that felt like a real step above the original sort of, this is hanging off the bones of a PlayStation 4 game.
Yeah.
You could see the sort of the old kind of Red Engine kind of creaking under all that a little bit. It still looks like a PS4 game that's been tarted up.
Yeah.
But it's all really beautiful, intricate work, and I thought it was a real statement of intent for them to show us start off with a really quiet sort of scene. But so it's really bold. That was a real statement of intent from them. But the place where the demo actually started was Geralt waking up after a night out on the Lash.
As Geralt does.
Yeah, exactly. So, we've got a real hangover start to this.
Yeah.
He's had a dream about a well. I imagine he dreams about wells a lot, and Jaskier's gone, and that's the start of it. Now, he spies somebody playing Dandelion's lute.
Okay.
His really iconic sort of, Willie Nelson lute, right?
Yeah.
And he knows that that's not Dandelion playing it. So the first interaction you have is Geralt going over and sort of accosting this guy and saying, "Where did you get that?" And it all leads to a fight, as you'd imagine.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really funny that the guy very gently puts the lute down before starting the fight with you, which is a real lovely moment of humor.
So as you mentioned combat, did you see any of the new improved combat? Did it seem improved?
No, not really. I mean, we did see combat, and I think that had the enhancements in there. But what was shown felt very familiar.
Okay.
They did talk a little bit about the enhancements that are coming before this DLC hits. So we're getting an enhanced PS5 Pro version. They talked about enhanced ray tracing and stuff like that. So it's all going to look lovely, and it's all a way to kind of bring us back into this Witcher 3 world.
Yeah.
Ahead of Witcher 4, obviously. So it's like they're stepping it up, introduce us back to a much more lovely looking version of the original game, and then new content, and then which I imagine is going to in some way lead to The Witcher 4. But
it has to. It'd be strange if it didn't.
Yeah, exactly. But if it does link, they've been very coy about that. They haven't said how it does, but I imagine there's going to be something in there.
Didn't say I was afraid.
So speaking of linking, at the end of Blood and Wine, it really seemed like it was kind of the end of Geralt's story. He was retiring in a vineyard like we all would love to do. Where does it seem like this takes place in the story?
They seem to be, it's very vague where it sits in the timeline, in the same way that I think the previous Blood and Wine expansion was.
Yeah.
It's quite similar to Blood and Wine in a couple of ways. It's got a very similar color palette, and it's set in a place that is far away from all conflict. So it's a bit more rustic and a bit less fairy tale than Toussaint. It's more sort of old world. It's a bit more gnarly, but it's there's no kind of soldiers walking around. There's no sort of battlefield strewn with blood and mud. It's a bit more, I guess it's a bit nicer than most of the locales in the original game. But as to where it sits in the timeline,
who knows?
Who knows?
Somewhere.
Unless I missed it. I don't.
Okay, so let's talk about the visuals, because this is a new Witcher game, a new expansion on a very old Witcher game. Clearly, it's running on it's PS4 tech. It's it's not next gen. It's previous gen by a bit. Did you see the ray tracing? Did it look better than what you're used to seeing? How did it look?
I would say it's a real last sort of outing for the Red Engine, right? And it's a real last hurrah for that. in a way, it kind of undermines them a little bit because it still looks beautiful and it's still like I played the current version of Witcher 3 on Pro before I came out here just to see, get back into the sort of thinking of it. And it still looks beautiful. It's still like that game has really kept up with the times in terms of tech. But you can tell that it's a PS4 game. Like whatever you do to it, you can't really hide the fact that it was made at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
So I think what it shows is that it's a beautifully scalable engine, and like they are tech wizards over at CD Projekt, but it does also show that them switching to a new engine, I know it's controversial what they've switched to, but aside from that, I think it does show that they needed to switch to something.
Yeah.
Because it is starting to show its age. So, but it still looks beautiful. I don't think that's to its detriment at all. It's still gorgeous. And like I say, the motion capture is noticeably a step up from what it was in the original game. Absolutely.
So it feels like it's just new tech making something better on the old building blocks of The Witcher 3. All right, my last question. Did you see any villains or any monsters? Did you see that guy right there?
Yeah, she turns up right at the end of what we saw.
Okay.
There's some monsters that are unique to this new area, which is cool. Certainly, it's not a remix of stuff that's already in the game.
Yeah.
This is like all new stuff to stab, which is good.
New stuff to stab. That is the quote we're going to pull for this one. Witcher 3, new stuff to stab.
Garden demands blood, so we'll give it blood.
I can't wait to play it. I know you can't wait to play it. I'm sure you can't wait to play it at home. But guess what? There's so much more Gamescom 2026. So stick with IGN.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN GameScoop.
GameScoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Man, this is a cool-looking trailer.
Everything Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Let the kids love what we love.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts, the best podcasts from around the world.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. You can even track your progress with interactive checklists so you know you reached that 100% completion.
I will not suffer.
IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
The next project from the studio behind the Ascent looks to be jam-packed with all the grimy, futuristic sleaze we expect in a cyberpunk dystopia. Here to tell us about No Law, Torfrick, and Arcade Berg from Neon Giant. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
So, this game, looking at it in action, I think it kind of speaks for itself. We should have some gameplay up here in a second, but I want to know what kind of a game it is, because I think people look at it at a glance and they're like, that looks like Cyberpunk 2077, but it looks a little bit more kind of like action-packed. You called it a immersive sim, I believe, but like is it a, is it a Deus Ex? Is it a Far Cry? Is it a Bulletstorm? Where does this fall?
Yes. I think we obviously hear all of this, and they're all fantastic games, so we'll take it as a compliment. And obviously we're inspired by everything we play, everything we see, everything we read. But the important thing is that it's its own thing, and that it has its own identity, right? That we bring stuff in from our experience as developers and from everything out there. But yeah, we do say immersive sim because we want that somewhat niche audience catered to. We are part of that and we love it, but we also put in a tremendous amount of effort in making sure that there is something for everyone, and that goes for the action and for the narrative and for the multiple play styles, that you can kind of like choose your own adventure and make it fit to your needs.
Okay. Now, you've got some vets working at the studio who worked on Bulletstorm and Wolfenstein, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now you've got this trailer where everyone's talking about how this protagonist is nice and stealthy, and then he proceeds to kick a door so hard it explodes. Can we expect that kind of like really over the top gunplay in here, but also stealth options? I'm guessing, is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we really wanted to focus on the player agency and their player choice and how to approach any situation. So you can be stealthy, you can, pickpocket, sneak around, distract, avoid confrontation as much as humanly possible. But we also wanted to cater to players who want to just go shotgun, kick the door in, shoot everyone in the face. So we wanted to really have that heavy physical feeling for the combat and for the gunplay, and also for the main character, who is quite a hefty dude, and that needed to be reflected in how you play the game. When you kick, it's a proper kick. You kick people flying off rooftops, you kick doors open. We wanted to have that very physical feeling in everything you do.
Nice. You dropped a trailer at Unreal Fest that is full of cool stuff to look at, but the most replayed segment of that on YouTube is a part where he shoots a guy so hard that he just explodes into electricity and goo. Can you tell me a little bit about the arsenal in this game and like what kind of weaponry we're going to be having?
Yeah, I know exactly which bit you mean. I actually haven't checked which is the most popular one. But
there's like a full-on spike right now. People really like seeing that shot.
And I'm sure a lot of our fans from the Ascent would recognize it because, we carried some of those things we liked from previous game just with us. They're ours. We can do whatever we want with it, and that would be the stasis, which just puts them in a state of floating, and if you fill them with enough lead during that time, they will just overcharge and explode. That can create a chain reaction. And that kind of goes into what Tor was talking about as well with the action and the heft and physicality, is that we always do a bit more tongue-in-cheek, and we see violence as a spectacle. We don't do angst and depression. Obviously, it's a violent world, and a lot of horrible things happen in it, but a world can still be inhabited by people that laugh and have a coffee, and we want violence to be an everyday thing. And we look at a lot of 80s references, 90s references. There's a lot of like RoboCop and Dread and Death Wish and that kind of attitude, and that goes for the main character as well. It's like, hey, if Arnold and Sylvester Stallone can sneak, this guy can sneak.
Yeah, and we're not afraid to go over the top either, both in terms of the visuals, but we're also not afraid to be a little bit unbalanced, to have a power fantasy. We want this to be a power fantasy. We want, big explosions, big, cyberpunk piñatas. Like we want that, if you kick a door hard enough, it will fly off its hinges, and and it will splinter on people, throwing them. Like, we want that kind of over the top, feeling as much as possible.
I love it. Now, people, Cyberpunk 2077, huge game. Obviously, it's some kind of an influence here, but Cyberpunk's also a genre that's been around for like 50 years.
Thank you for saying that.
I will happily say that. I'm a big William Gibson fan, Neil Stephenson, all those guys. I'm curious, what are some other Cyberpunk influences that you pulled from, aside from like blending 80s action? RoboCop is technically Cyberpunk. What's some of the other Cyberpunk media you're drawing from?
I mean, throughout the team, I think we pretty much have it covered. It's everything from movies, books, comic books, anime. I mean, obviously, we have Ghost in the Shell, Neuromancer, Gibson, those books, but also comics, Judge Dredd. I mean, we love Judge Dredd, for example, and we really, but we want to embrace that, 80s tongue-in-cheek. It's a grim world, but it's a fun, experience.
I think also, whilst we love cyberpunk and all what that means, we have chosen to go with the tropes we enjoy and we think fit with the world and the game. We've also chosen to opt out of some of them. We haven't gone, okay, cyberpunk, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this, again, because no law needs to be its own thing. And instead, we've gone with a lot of like 60s American mafia, we've gone noir, we call it neon sleaze, it's in a more Mediterranean climate, it's warm, people wear, short-sleeved shirts. It's very much its own thing, right? And I think the language which they use with when they speak, we have a thing we call huntism as well. There's a lot of colloquialism in the way they communicate. And when we've been sending the game out for playtests, etc., like that's something that always comes back and scores well in the tests, in that there's definitely something, there's an identity here, there's something special, and we really look forward to being able to show more. We're so happy to have finally shown more gameplay, but we're happy to show more, moving on, so that people really get what makes no law no law.
Now, I want to talk about the setting. This is open world, is that correct?
Yes.
And you've talked about how you want it to be more about density than just sheer scale. I believe the thing you said was that any frame of this game has more objects in it than the entirety of the Ascent. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's absolutely bonkers, and it shows. What's crazy though is I think the Ascent was your first big cyberpunk game, and looking at these two games side by side, aesthetically similar. But I don't think what some people realize is that like if you unlock the camera and zoom in, that game is just as visually dense as this. There's so much stuff in here. There's so many little tiny details, and I'm excited to just actually get up close to them. Is there like a specific detail in this game, like an object, a piece of garbage, literally anything that you're particularly proud of that you want to just kind of point people towards?
I think one of the things we really hope people will enjoy is how much attention and love that went into just creating all the little stickers and advertising and products. So, we've shown some clips, when we blow up this guy in a convenience store, every single product has, a full-on description of the ingredients. And you can zoom in.
Nutritional facts.
Yeah, well, nutritional misinformation. But it's just full of, jokes and puns and, lore. And we really hope that people who enjoy that sort of thing will just go and just, photo mode and just zoom in and just look at every single thing. Because with this kind of fidelity, you can go and read every single sticker. You can scan the QR codes, like all of it.
And this is handcrafted, yeah?
Yes, all of it. This is also where we made a deliberate option when we're talking about cyberpunk, because obviously a lot of cyberpunk fiction that we also love often comes with a lot of Asian influence, be that Japanese or Korean or Chinese, right? And whilst we also really enjoy those cultures, and we go there and all of that stuff. For me, who don't read those languages, being in Seoul, for example, it's Asian. It's one flavor, right? It's one impression on me, and I love it, and it's exciting. But we decided early on that everything in the game world is in English. So for our main audience, you can stop anywhere in the world and read every single sign, read any single product information, the nutritional facts, right? So that you can set the pace in your own accord and really, really get into it. You can read the street signs, you can read the building signs, you can read the lost puppy signs.
Yeah.
Everything is handcrafted with love, and you can pause and really soak that in.
Yeah, every building has an address, all the streets correspond. You can navigate through the street signs, through the addresses on the buildings.
Yes, I love that. That's what turn off the HUD and actually
so
find your way around.
We will actually have a mode. It's not the default mode, but you can opt in to play more in an immersive mode where we turn off like the helpers and the markers, and if they give you an address, you gotta find the address and you'll follow the street signs.
I love that.
And but that is opt-in, right? Because we understand that that's not for everyone. And we do that a lot. Same thing like with the story. The main story is very easy to get into, and if you just want to do a shotgun to the face, that's fine. But if you want to play a bit more detective and really get immersed, there's so many characters to talk to and stuff to read, and that's for you to want instead of us saying, and you gotta read this.
Now, we got a little glimpse of, in between the constant murder, we got a little bit of some bonsai trimming in there. What other activities are we going to have in addition to just combat and stealth and all that?
I mean, there's obviously secrets and stuff to collect in the city, and the very first thing that happens in the game, and I don't think it's a spoiler if it is literally the first thing that happens, is that you are attacked and your home is wrecked, right? So there's a lot of like rebuilding that. There are characters to talk to for the story elements, and you can not only shoot them, you can also kick them in the face.
That's good. Yeah. That's good.
But we also focus a lot on the exploration, and once again, like Arcade said, that's opt-in, right? Like if you are just gonna blaze through the main story, kick in the front door, shotgun, let's go. You can do that. But for people who really want to just, explore the city, explore, the apartments, the people who live there, there's a lot for players to discover. Just, moving through the city and just, getting distracted.
And of course, it's the RPG layer as well of character customization, abilities, skills, gear, equipment, like all of that. It's always the gardener, Greyhawker the gardener, but you're the gardener.
Okay.
So we make sure that he never makes any decisions for you in a cutscene. It's always you making the decisions. So it's your gardener.
Okay. Now, you mentioned, open world RPG. I think some people jump to the expectation it's going to be like 120 hours. But you also say you can blaze through the story. How big of a game are we looking at in terms of playtime? If you're mainlining it versus taking your time.
Yeah, I mean, one of the challenges is that the difference between if you're blazing through it and if you're taking your time, there's going to be a huge difference. We're not telling you how to play through the game.
Okay.
So you can actually, I think this is a game where people will find ways to speedrun this game because it's all driven by systems.
Yeah, you can beat Skyrim in 6 hours, but no one has ever done that on purpose.
Yeah.
Like you get lost. That's the whole thing.
And, this is a similar thing. Not that it's the size of Skyrim, but it's like you can get lost. You can spend a lot of time. You can spend 100 hours doing stuff in the game if you just take your time and you really want to explore things, and especially if you're going to go and read all the stickers in the grocery stores. So it's very hard for us to put a time on, like we don't know what the average playtime will be yet.
Okay.
But it's significant.
Okay. So it's a chunky game with a chunky protagonist.
Chunky boy, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. I honestly wish we had more time to talk about this. I'm dying to hear more. Thank you so much for coming and chatting about this. No Law hits Xbox Series, PS5, and PC sometime in 2027, but right now there's more Gamescom Studio 2026 coming right up.
station flavor. I've seen them myself. They look really delicious. Actually, like they might be buttery. Yeah, herbal and buttery. Yeah. So you can see that from the Monster Hunter series, we always have the tradition that you get some food before you go hunting, and this is how we are inspired to design these weapons. So I would like to say here that these weapon skis, they're just purely cosmetics. Like the DLCs in the main series, they do not offer any stats. They're just for you to customize yourself
You're watching Gamescom Studio. Now, hardcore Crimson Desert players have already spent hundreds of hours exploring Pywell. Soon they'll have even more secrets to uncover. Here to tell me about the brand new Enhanced Edition is the Director of PR and Marketing at Prolibus America, Will Powers. Welcome.
Hey, Damon. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm great. I love Gamescom. I was on the couch last year with Max. I'm on the couch here with you.
You never know who you're going to get when you jump on the IGN couch.
We talked Crimson Desert then, and it was before launch. Yep. Now we get to talk about all the things we've done since launch.
Which is a lot. I mean, this has got to be one of the most updated, if not the most updated games of all time, certainly in such a short amount of time. Now we've arrived at the Enhanced Edition.
Yep.
Man, there was already, even before this announcement, Crimson Desert was in such a different place than it was at launch. So what are the sort of broad strokes that people are going to find when they update to 2.0?
Yeah, that was a great internal conversation with us. It's like we're still just within 6 months of launch. Yeah. We've done around 17, 18, 19 major updates. How do we communicate that to not only the players that have been playing the whole time, but to new players? So that's how we arrived with Crimson Desert Enhanced. How we encapsulate everything here, repackage it, and we even put the game on sale for the first time here at Gamescom to incentivize more people to come in and become Grey Mains.
Yeah. So I know you're adding new cutscenes and story moments throughout the main quest line.
Yep.
As we said, players have already put hundreds of hours into the game. How do they access this new story content? Have they missed it? Can they still get into it from the post game?
Yeah, so story, we're not calling it an overhaul by any means. This is to supplement. This is to create a greater through line of the narrative content. So some of the things that were a little bit more subtle, maybe in some of the codexes or lore, we've made the subtlety a little bit more overt. So that's in order to enhance and bring more immersion in the gameplay experience. But you'll see those throughout. And it's a little bit hard to quantify like the number of cutscenes and stuff because sometimes we added a singular line of dialogue into an existing scene. Sometimes we added brand new cutscenes. So it'll be throughout the experience, and from the very beginning through the story.
Like, for example, the head of our video department, Corrado, I think he said he's put like 325 hours into the game. So when he boots it up with 2.0, how will he access this new story content?
I think that having something be disruptive isn't the approach here.
Got it.
This is not meant to be an expansion where you're like, okay, I'm going into the new story area. This is meant to be a supplemental experience. So we don't want you to feel like you've missed everything or anything if you've spent hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours in the world of Pywell. But for people that are jumping in or for people that want to restart the experience, we want it to be a little bit different. We want to give them a little bit more and reward them noticing something new.
You also added 8 new skills for Cliff. Can you walk us through the skills and where you unlock them in the story?
I can't actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, you've tripped me up. Yeah. I know. So there are supplemental skills. We always bring something new to the table every time. There's a brand new water walking skill where you can run across water instead of sinking into it and swimming. But go into the skill tree. Under each of the different nodes, you'll be able to see how to unlock it, whether it's simply with skill points or abyssal points, or it's through doing specific things within the world. You'll see 8 new nodes for the players to be able to unlock brand new experiences.
Well, the base game already had so many wild ideas and gameplay systems that you wouldn't expect. What's the most surprising addition in the Enhanced Edition?
So Crimson Desert Enhanced, again, it's the culmination of the past 5 months. But we wanted to, as a studio, we want to bring the world of Crimson Desert to as many people, as many platforms, in as many languages as we can. So there's a huge effort not only to do additional voiceover and dialogue for the narrative scenes that we talked about earlier, but also we added 5 brand new fully voiced languages in this, as well as text and UI localization in Arabic. So German, French, Castilian Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese, and Japanese are fully voiced now with a whole cast of voiceover talent. So that's a huge thing globally for the game, is bringing this epic world and epic story to fans in their native language.
We talked about how often Crimson Desert has been updated. Now that the Enhanced Edition is here, should fans accept the same cadence of regular updates going forward?
Man. So I think this is a great transition point where we've had this great pace of updates continually expanding the world of Pywell. And now this with 2.0, this is all very purposeful in how we name stuff. This is very much a fully realized experience within the world. So while there still will be updates, I don't think the scope and scale and pace of them will be as consistent past this point. What we're taking this opportunity to do is shift our development resources from these regular updates to focus on the upcoming DLC.
Which is still planned for later this year?
It is planned for later this year. We've said it's coming out in Q4 this year.
Do we expect more new story content in that paid DLC?
We expect to reveal more details at a later time.
Well, we'll be excited to learn more then. Well, Pro Abyss has been so responsive and listening to their fans. A lot of these updates have been in direct response to fan feedback. Where do you look for audience feedback? Where are you listening to fans? On Steam, on Reddit? Or if fans have thoughts, where's the best place for them to share them?
I want to take one step back first.
Okay, here we go.
Because I do believe that it's especially important, and the developers at Pearl Abyss have been very, very vocal in talking about how our company is founded on listening to community. The games we put out before this, Black Desert Mobile, on console, these are all centered around community, MMO experiences. So naturally, our DNA as a company is around listening to our player base. That approach was kind of the foundational approach of how we wanted to address feedback, both positive and negative, at launch. How can we continue to improve on the things that players love, and how can we make things that there were critiques on a better experience, whether it's a story and the changes that we've done with Crimson Desert Enhanced, or it's UI, it's skill trees, things like that. We turned some bugs into actual features with the aerial stab. So there are great examples of where across the internet and in all different languages, I think that the difficulty is knowing what to listen to and what to filter. Because the danger in this is listening to every piece of feedback and then having your game lose its own internal DNA.
Sure.
And that's incredibly important on our side, is to have the core Crimson Desert experience pull through, but listen to fan feedback and have that augmented as long as it's very true to the DNA at the core of Crimson Desert.
Sure. Pearl Abyss has said it's exploring multiplayer in the world of Crimson Desert. Any updates on that?
We are exploring multiple ways to further the IP universe. Is there a confirmation of multiplayer, or is there an official announcement? No. What we're doing is we're investigating whether or not it makes sense technologically without compromising the fidelity of the experience. Consistent with what I just said about player feedback, I think it's incredibly important to maintain the core identity of Crimson Desert. And if we're able to do co-op or multiplayer, something like that, without compromising that core identity of what we believe is the Crimson Desert experience, then yeah, it could come down the line. In this version, in a potential sequel, whatever that looks like. We're exploring what and how we can do that within the technology.
So paid DLC Q4 this year, and then Nintendo Switch 2 in 2027.
Yes, first half of next year, it'll be coming out on Switch 2, and it's not a simple port. We've never done just a simple port. Whenever we release on a new platform, we are optimizing for that specific platform, making sure that it's using all those different elements to the best of their ability, and making sure that that experience is synonymous with what players have come to expect from Crimson Desert.
We have a very devoted fan base, huge fan base. They're very passionate. A lot of them feel that Crimson Desert is one of the best open world games ever made, and they feel it deserves a Game of the Year nomination. What would you say to those really passionate fans?
I mean, first, I'd be remiss to not say thank you. That means a lot to everyone that works so hard on the game, on all the games of the company. We we listen to all fan feedback. So that's very heartfelt from our side. And when someone says that they think that this is the best open world they've ever played, that's very meaningful. What I would say is that if you're making a game to win awards, you're doing the wrong approach. I think awards are a reward for making a great product. So if the media, if the players believe that we made a great product, then awards will come. But that should never be your initial target of, we want to make a Game of the Year game. No, you want to make a great game, and then hopefully, if chips fall where they do, then you win some awards and accolades along the way. So I hope that at the end of this year, that we're celebrating a great game.
Well, I think you can do that already. One more question before I let you go. Crimson Desert Enhanced Edition is here. Presumably it's in a place that you're happy with, that you feel good about. Now that it's here, is there any update on DokeV?
We did say that we are targeting a late or second half of 2028 release date for DokeV. And significant development resources outside of the ones that we talked about are shifting to DLC are pivoting over to DokeV as the development wraps up for audio and motion capture and kind of the ancillary development just disciplines that aren't necessarily coding, the things that you need to do first before you can make the game. All of those things are moving over and transitioning to our next new IP project, which is DokeV.
Very cool. Well, congrats again on this huge success of Crimson Desert and the launch of the Enhanced Edition. Thanks for being here. Crimson Desert's Enhanced Edition is out now. There's more Gamescom Studio on the way right here on IGN.
Thank you so much.
IGN Store has everything you need to level up your life.
Red 6 standing by.
Refresh your wardrobe with official gear you won't find anywhere else. From Fallout, Expedition 33, Romeo's a Dead Man, and more. Treat yourself to the coolest collectibles like an adorable SKA plush, your very own Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, and a fully functional Pip-Boy 3000. Or kick back and relax to your favorite video game soundtracks on vinyl. Whatever you need, IGN Store has you covered. Head to store.ign.com and start shopping today.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and offensive coverage. Or really maximize your Poke potential by digging into the stats by adjusting EVs and IVs. And save multiple team builds for different strategies in different games. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
Welcome to the biggest gaming playground in the world, where 500,000 people come together to play, connect, and celebrate across Cologne. 1,600 exhibitors. The biggest names in the gaming industry, bringing countless games for you to explore and dominate. Get set for Gamescom's unique indie area, where you're in control of the most creative and unique projects from more than 400 indie studios. And if that's not enough, don't miss Gamescom Awesome Indie Show, our show produced by IGN featuring the hottest new titles from the indie universe. Or become the hero yourself and step into the Gamescom cosplay contest, bringing cosplayers and fans together from around the globe for an unforgettable community experience. Can't make it to Gamescom in person? Visit our website, gamescom.global, and experience all program highlights via our content hub, Gamescom Now. The experts at IGN are gearing up to bring you full days of live streams straight to Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hey, Epi! Crashing the party? Jump into Gamescom Epics on our website and claim your loot. Next up, Gamescom Cares. Our initiative for a safer, more sustainable, and inclusive Gamescom. Speaking of inclusive, the Gamescom City Festival is taking over the city with live music for free and all kinds of fun. Gamescom is more than a single event, it's a global family. With Gamescom Dev, Gamescom LAN, Gamescom Asia, and Gamescom LATAM, we're unlocking dynamic experiences and connecting gamers worldwide. Welcome to the heart of gaming. Welcome to Gamescom.
You're watching IGN's live coverage of Gamescom, the biggest and coolest video game convention in the world. That's super with the 7-Eleven. If you love sports cars and potato chips, that's the car for you, right? But we're about to check out Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, Melee Remastered, The Wolf Among Us Remastered, and Mega Man Dual Override, and loads more stuff here at Gamescom.
Were enslaved. Furnaces lost everything.
Okay. Always do, unless they ask for it.
Finally! So this is the Marmoset Village?
Chop you to pieces!
Toss me there. The Rat Pack is at your doorstep and you're fighting over your treasure?
Heaven Thunder! Strike! Oh, I like that!
Hands off, Tracy!
Bingo!
Let me take the swing!
Furnaces! Stand united! To arms!
Hand over the spark!
Come and get me!
This, the hope of the world?
Welcome back to Gamescom Studio here at IGN. I'm Damon Hatfield. I'm sitting here with my fellow Omega Cop, Sam Claiborne.
Hey, it's good to be here, Damon.
And Sam, it's hard to believe, that's a cliche we're not supposed to use in the industry. You don't open an article or video with "it's hard to believe." And yet, it is hard to believe that right over there is a giant booth for a 2D Castlevania game in the year 2026.
Yeah, like in 2026, a 2D Castlevania game has a giant E3 style booth.
Yeah.
Just going to say it again, where you can just go play a Castlevania that feels like you're playing a game in 1996.
Well,
a sequel
yeah.
to Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
Yes, yeah, a sequel to that. I mean, back in '97, when Symphony of the Night was released, you go back and read EGM there. This game looks, or they would say this game is really fun in spite of looking really old. And now we're in the year 2026. And a 2D Castlevania game has its own booth. Sam got to play this new game, Castlevania Belmont's Curse, which I'm very excited for. It's out in just a couple months. Sam, please tell us your first impressions of playing this game.
So I went into this game really wanting to know, does this feel like the Symphony of the Night through the Game Boy era of Castlevania games? Now, there's been Castlevania games since then. There's the Dead Cells Castlevania spin-off. Yep. All those have different feels and they do their own thing. But this game, I really want it to look modern but feel old school. And I will tell you, it found a middle ground there because it feels great. First of all, I have no complaints. It feels faster and more agile than you've ever been as a Belmont, really. But what do you do in this game? You kind of maraud around a map. You pause a lot. You look at that map all the time, and you think, where am I supposed to be going right now? And that is my favorite type of game ever.
I mean, we talk about this on GameScoop, the only gaming podcast, quite often. What these games are about, Metroidvania games are about, they're about getting to a save point and then seeing how far you can push out, seeing if you can make it to the next save point.
Yep.
Like that's basically what you're doing in these games. And that appears to be what Belmont's Curse is, yes?
It's exactly what the gameplay loop is. And I think it's really neat that in old Castlevania games, you start out with this kind of Belmont shuffle. You can barely, you kind of move kind of slow. You can hop. Sometimes you can get up to the platform you're trying to hop to. Most of the time, Medusa's just going to knock you to your death.
Yep.
In this game, you actually come at it with a lot more skills to begin with. You can in the demo I played, I was already gripping a wall, bouncing off walls, jumping up, and then I got the grapple hook, and obviously grappling is the coolest thing you can actually do in a video game is having a grapple hook.
That's true.
Right? If it's part of your bionic arm, that's even better. But in this case, it worked out really well. So I had to kill a boss to get that upgrade, and then I was swinging around like a maniac, and it just felt like you just kind of moved to a quicker paced, more modern Castlevania quickly, but you still have to pause all the time, look at the map, and think, where the heck am I? Where is I supposed to be going?
In your brief time with the game, did you find turkey inside of a wall?
I 100% did. I found a big, roast, juicy bust of turkey in the wall, and it was like totally right where you expected it.
There it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is made by the folks behind Dead Cells and then the Return to Castlevania Dead Cells DLC. So Dead Cells obviously very inspired by Castlevania, and then Return to Castlevania, a very loving homage to Castlevania. But Dead Cells is pixel art. It's not pixel art. What do you think of the art style?
Yeah, so the art style, what it needs to do is match the ability to get around, the ability to kill skeletons and stuff like that, and kind of understand what you're doing. And everything just looks really clear and nice and honestly badass. And there's a little bit of a different thing this game is doing, which I thought made it feel a little bit more modern. So beyond the graphics, when you fight a boss and then you beat the boss, you get a skill. You get a passive, or you get I beat a boss and I got like the ability to throw a cross out that of course comes back to you.
Of course.
As crosses do.
And then you jump over it.
Yeah, then you jump over, exactly. And then he also gave me the grippy grappling hook thing. But what was cool about it is that after I killed that boss, he absorbed his power. You know, a lot of these games, they could drop something, you kind of absorb it. That's how it all works. In this one, he talked. You have a conversation with that boss after that happens, and he's like, I don't know what happened there. I was just being a monster, and then somebody came and started whipping me with a whip. You know, it's like in The Witcher when Geralt is like, I'll take care of your monster problem, and then he goes into a cave, and like some big monster's like, I wasn't even messing with them. And then Geralt's like, fine, how about we just settle this with gold? And then you kill the monster anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you do in this game. And I just thought that was kind of neat. There was a little bit of a voice acting part, and you kind of talk to the beast for a little bit.
Yeah. So Symphony of the Night is a loot game. You're constantly finding new weapons and armor that are increasing your stats or maybe decreasing your stats or adding buffs or nerfs. Is that part of this game as well?
So this game has a completely overhauled system where you have more of an RPG setup, and you should really check out our preview by Mitchell Saltzman because he explains how this works with the different weapons. But what I did find in whipping every wall, which looked like a dead end, which is, you know, a core element of the gameplay here, is I whipped too far once and I discovered an attack power up. So it just gave me an attack up. And a lot of the other drops I saw were more like, a cup of tea that restored my health, meat behind walls.
Spots of tea.
So yeah, it was more stuff like that. But obviously I just explained that a monster dropped a giant weapon upgrade for me too. So there's that type of stuff.
Another couple cool details. We're playing as Rose Belmont, the daughter of Trevor and Sypha, who were both in Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, but also from the Netflix animated series. And what's cool is that Sypha is apparently in the game because the voice actress that played her in the Netflix series is here, and also the same voice actor that played Dracula is here in the game too. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, what's even crazier is somehow Dracula came back.
Somehow Dracula returned.
Somehow Dracula returned. The Drac came back. And so... again, Dracula's Curse is Castlevania 3 for NES. And this is takes place like a couple decades after that with the kids from two characters in that game, which is just the craziest thing. I just think it's really
This game is still set 200 years before the original Castlevania, though. So still in prequel territory.
Yeah, they had just kind of invented ways to hide meat in walls at this point. I think that's the lore, at least.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so Castlevania Belmont's Curse is out October 15th. We're both lifelong Castlevania fans. I haven't gotten a chance to play it myself yet, but since Sam has, Sam, you're excited.
We got to go over there.
Well, we have to go to...
We'll go over there.
I don't know. It looks a little spooky.
It might be spooky.
But you came away...
It's spooky season, though.
It is. Well, it's almost spooky season. You know, it can always be spooky season inside here.
There's a little skeleton.
What I'm trying to get you to say is whether or not you feel good about the game.
100% I feel good about this game, and I can't wait to play more of it, which I'm going to go do.
Okay. Take me with you.
No one can stop me.
Castlevania Belmont's Curse out October 15th. For much more from Gamescom, stick with us right here at IGN.
You're watching Gamescom on IGN. Mega Man Dual Override is the brand new entry in the classic Mega Man franchise, and my boy Cardi right here got to play it here at Gamescom. I need to know about this. Tell me about Mega Man Dual Override.
Yes, I may be a boy, but he is a man, a Mega Man. Mega Man Dual Override, in all but name, feels like Mega Man 12, right?
Okay.
The last mainline Mega Man game was almost a decade now, Mega Man 11, and this kind of feels like, to me, like trying to, not quite a reboot of the series, but trying to get new fans in, because there was classic Mega Man action. I mean, like, maybe the first game I ever played might have been Mega Man when I was like 3 or 4
Oh, wow,
on the
yeah.
NES. Like Mega Man 2 and 3 I played to death. I was probably better at them at the age of 4 than I am now, somehow. But I think there's a nice blend of classic Mega Man here with a lot of new sort of quality of life updates that make it a bit more approachable. I will admit I haven't played the last couple of mainline Mega Man games, so I'm sorry if I'm giving false information here, but like there seems to be quite nice checkpoints into levels. I remember old school Mega Man, it was harsh. It was like a couple of lives and then you just start all over again.
Yeah, which I think a lot of people are not necessarily concerned about, because I think you nailed it, right? Like, how do you service an audience of people who have been playing these really difficult games for a really long time, memorizing bullet patterns and boss orders and stuff like that, and you do little things like you put a checkpoint in front of a boss's door.
Yes.
If you don't need it, don't use it. Just don't die if you're so good. But if you do die, because you're not good. That's a nice little thing. Now, I wanted to ask you specifically about this new dual override system, because before you hop into a level, you get to choose one of 3 different parameters, correct?
Yes, and I'm not sure that's actually linked to the dual override thing. I think they're 2 separate things. So you get to pick 3 different chipsets at the start of a stage. So there is classic Mega Man, so like no bonuses, and you're given Rush the Dog to use whenever you want. If you want to hop a little bit higher, you don't know who Rush is, he's got a little jumpy dog you can hop on and get a little bit of extra boost. Or you can use the kinder options that make the game a little bit easier if you choose to. So there's a defensive one, which then if you press on one of the bumpers, you get a little shield that protects you from damage, and also a little E-tank to use. And there's the aggressive one that'll just give you like a double charge, I believe. And one other thing, sorry, at the top of my memory, I can't remember. It'll probably be on screen right now, though, so you can see it. I can only play one of the levels, which was Twinkle Girl, one of the robot masters in this game. Yes, and there is 3 stages of her levels. So to get to her, I had to do 2 levels, a third, and then it was the main boss. And I started off on the first 2 thinking, I've played Mega Man before, I can do this. Yeah. So I chose the no help option, and I'd rushed the dog, who didn't help me at all. But I did okay with that, and I got to the 2nd stage boss, who, intriguingly, is just a copy of Astro Man from Mega Man 8.
That's great. I love that. So wait, there's a chance that this game's going to have a bunch of like sort of Easter egg classic references, and they're not going to be the main evil robot bosses. They'll just be hanging out.
Exactly. I think partway through each of the new bosses, you'll get maybe, I don't want to say ever, I've only played one of them, but like maybe you'll get those returning characters. And it was exactly the same like patterns and moves as Astro Man had in Mega Man 8. And that's kind of like a plus adding a negative for me. So I was like, oh, that's kind of nice bit of nostalgia for fighting that boss, and I know how to do this kind of.
Yep.
But also, I was like, I would like it maybe to be a bit more of a remix of that, like some new things
Got
into
it.
it to take you, throw you a little bit off. So I'm kind of, split on that. I like that, like we said there, looking after the long-term fans, but also giving some like new bits for people who aren't as familiar with the series.
So you got to see the boss select screen, but it was all grayed out, correct?
Yes, it was all question marks apart from Twinkle Girl, who was taken over some sort of like facility, and you have to try and get all the way to her. You've got the classic mix of Mega Man platforming and shooting with the blaster, and it's just kind of, it just felt like old school Mega Man. That's why I can say, like, I kind of struggle with new things to say, because like, if you play Mega Man, you kind of know what's going on here.
You know how to slide, you know how to shoot, you know how to jump on rush.
It's got the familiar enemies, the little guys with the hard hats who poke up when you get too close. It's got those guys.
There was some discussion when the trailer was first revealed. Obviously, huge surprise because Mega Man fans have been hungry for a long time.
Yes.
About how the art direction didn't line up with the originals. It's sort of the same thing you're seeing with the new Castlevania game, where a beloved franchise comes back. It's not pixel art anymore, but it's doing its own thing. It's really stylish and really cool. How did you like what you saw based on just the art direction so far?
I liked it. It felt like a modernization of that sort of classic look to me. Like, I don't need... Like, I'm not someone who has great nostalgia for pixel art necessarily. I love the way it looked then. I like pushing things forward, trying new things. I will say the music was good. It still had that, like, Mega Man to me is like the music is such a core memory.
Yes.
It powers those levels and it sounded really good. So yeah, in terms of how the game looked, I liked it. There were some flashy animations, such as when you trigger the dual override mechanic, which makes you more powerful for a brief period of time. Really cool, like almost anime-esque, you know, like bursts of color and light as his suit kind of expands and like almost transforms a little bit. Like that was cool. And yeah, the actual animations on the Twinkle Girl boss fight, which I think we can show up a bit here. Annoyingly, this footage here was provided by Capcom, and it shows them losing the boss fight. I want to guarantee to everyone I beat that boss fight, and they said I was one of the quickest people to beat that boss. So I want to have it known that I beat that boss fight despite it not being shown here. Twinkle Girl was defeated by me.
Yeah.
Has these really cool like firework patterns which you can like dance in and out of, and just like she felt. Whereas Astro Man actually took me much longer to take down, despite me being familiar with him. I preferred fighting Twinkle Girl. She was me easier to take down. More of like a glass cannon of a boss, kind of dealt heavy damage, but if you could dodge it, you could defeat her quite easily. So, yeah.
So you have beaten the boss.
Yes.
Doesn't happen in the footage.
No, I promise
we believe you. So if you're watching, you're going to have to just find something different to be upset about.
I'm not a liar.
I believe you. I'm
not a liar.
I swear I believe you.
Yeah.
I swear I believe you. Talk to me a little bit about the level design, because that is one of my favorite things in the old games, was sort of the sort of ebb and flow from going to screen, and then having like mini bosses and like, so obviously platforming, there's shooting, like how did all of that look and feel to you?
It all blends in like that classic way that felt really good. You are going from screen to screen. On the third of the 3 levels, it did get a bit more complex. There was little, like, you have to be almost pixel perfect with the platforming, like hopping from little thing to little thing, and they just throwing an annoying enemy your way. So the first time you cross that little gap, you're not going to know they're there, and you will die, and it will be annoying. But the next time, that's the whole point of Mega Man. Yeah. It's the new game. Mega Man is kind of, you know, learning those levels, and like you said before, learning the bullet patterns, like that kind of reflex memory of like wanting to do these levels in as quick a time as you can, and kind of becoming the robot master yourself.
So you did have access to one of the sort of transformations, right, that you unlocked, but you weren't sure who it belonged to.
Yes,
do you have any clues?
Sure. It was a turquoise suit with like an orange little trim. It was kind of like these big like force blast pushes I was doing that were dealing heavy damage. Got to maybe use it 6 or 7 times before you ran out of ammo. I enjoyed using that. Like I said, beat Twinkle Girl, definitely defeated her. You might not see it, but I definitely defeated her. But I'm intrigued to see what her special ability was, because I didn't, get to wield it.
Yeah.
And that's obviously the whole loop of Mega Man, if you're not familiar, is choosing the order to defeat these robot masters in, so you get their enemies and knowing which enemy is weak against which ammo type. And so, yeah, I kind of am intrigued to see more. I miss Mega Man. It was good to have him back.
That's wonderful. No release date right now.
No.
We know it's coming out next year, though. Or as much as that means when anyone says that something's coming soon with the video game anymore. But until then, we've got lots more video game coverage right here at IGN, covering all things Gamescom, the biggest video game convention in the world. So keep it locked and leave a nice comment for Simon Cardy, who definitely beat Twinkle Girl.
I did.
She's dead. He did. Wow. Whoa. That's messed up, man.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Metro 2039.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
IGN Playlist is the best way to track your game collection. Now you can even import your entire Steam library to Playlist, making it easier than ever to review games, show off your collection to the world, and finally chip away at that massive backlog you keep meaning to get to. IGN Playlist, check it out.
IGN Store has everything you need to level up your life.
Red 6 standing by.
Refresh your wardrobe with official gear you won't find anywhere else. Treat yourself to the coolest collectibles like an adorable SKA plush, your very own Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, and a fully functional Pip-Boy 3000. Head to store.ign.com and start shopping today. Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and offensive coverage. Or really maximize your Poke potential by digging into the stats by adjusting EVs and IVs. And save multiple team builds for different strategies in different games. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
Revealed at Opening Night Live, PUBG DeadNet is an all-new spin on the beloved Battle Royale, and here to tell us what it's doing to shake things up, creative director Dave Curd. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, Max. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so what is DeadNet? What is it? What makes it different from regular PUBG in a nutshell?
Okay, so pace and persistence. PUBG is 100 guys who's going to be the sole survivor. In DeadNet, we ask you to take a multi-match journey, gaining valuable new abilities, mitigating crazy injuries, all in pursuit of building your ultimate king of killers.
Okay, so it's got a little bit of roguelike to it.
Absolutely. We find that roguelite is the ultimate spice that kind of keeps me coming back for more.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about, like, I guess, where did this come from? Like, what was the inspiration for this? How did it sort of come to be?
Well, we're always trying to figure out what the next big fun thing is, right? Like, as creative director at PUBG Studios, I'm fortunate enough to be able to help with maps, modes, and experiences. And we lucked into this idea of what if a match, because PUBG is like the ultimate storytelling engine. So, like, we had this question, what if that story could last multiple matches? Now, that's not PUBG anymore, but it was such a sticky idea, we thought, we've got to go for it. We've got to try it. So, little tiny team, we stood up the idea of body persistence, of dragging a beaten competitor across multiple matches while getting them incrementally stronger, and we felt like we had something special.
Yeah, that does seem like a good, like, fundamental shakeup there. And you've also got like you've got a distinct aesthetic here. Can you tell me what the significance of the title is? Like, what does DeadNet mean?
Thank you. DeadNet is short for Dog Eat Dog.
Ah, okay.
It's a twisted dark web streamed reality TV show where 60 wild competitors are trying to become the sole survivor and not trade too much of their humanity along the way.
And this is a period piece, is that correct? It's set in 1996?
Yes, it takes place very specifically in 1996.
Why was that the right year? Like, what was beside from being a great year?
Well, it was a great year, but it was a time of historical tension. You had one foot in the analog world, one foot in the digital world. You still had to use payphones on the side of the street, but you could start streaming stuff on this new thing they called the internet. You mix that in with the music, the grunge, the gangster rap that we feature in our game, and then also, of course, the weapons of that era. I have a soft spot for the guns before they got to future warfare. So yeah, you put that all together, and 96 made the most sense to tell the story we were excited to tell.
Nice. I feel like it has like and I mean this in a nice way, it has some like Dennis Rodman hair energy to it, you know? It's just sort of chaotic and a little scary, but pretty cool, you know?
We call it Grunge House.
Grunge House.
We're kind of mixing the 90s grunge aesthetic with grindhouse cinema to create our own unique kind of meat grindered view of the mid-90s. Because we have some technology that wasn't around. We have the ROMs. These are the effed up little game cartridges you smash into your meat to gain valuable abilities. So we're kind of slightly alternate history there.
I love that. Now let's talk about, you mentioned a meat grinder. You get knife hands in here? Did I see knife hands? Is that correct?
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff to your body in this game. You can remove those hands and replace them with blades. You can become a tiny little baby doll with drill hands. You can become a 600-pound, 7-foot tall pig. It's all on the table.
Okay. And I guess this is all sort of luck of the draw, random drop kind of thing, or how do players come across this stuff? What's the gameplay loop there? I guess.
Essentially, as you're chasing ROMs at the very start of your run, you pick a very general archetype. Hey, I kind of see myself doing some sniping. Hey, maybe I'm going to be a little bit more support this game. But pretty quickly, as we go match to match, we're offering you powers that support that fantasy, or more interestingly, powers that don't. So you might start as like a door-kicking breacher type, but immediately get tricked into like, oh, I should take that boombox power because when I get to play gangster rap, it heals my team, right? Or maybe I should become a sneaky snake and crawl on my stomach really, really fast on the ground, which you see in the trailer.
Yeah, my first thought there was like, is that like how penguins go down hills? But snakes are cooler, so that works for me. How did these where do these come from? Is it just like you're playing a game and you're like, wouldn't it be cool if we could blank and then just try it out? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the entertainment business. Like, our primary job is to like give players something they can't get anywhere else. And we had a whole backlog of crazy things we wanted to try that weren't quite the best fit for PUBG, but made so much more sense in this unhinged world.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the map too? Is it a totally new map?
Brand new map. It's a 5.5 by 5.5 map, kind of based on a fictional Pacific Northwest. We call it Cascadia, and we really try to push the Unreal Engine to its limits with nanite and lumen. We've got the densest forests you've ever seen in a FPS BR like this. Crazy detailed interior spaces. It's dripping with detail and offers so much more cat and mouse gameplay than you could get in previous titles. One quick example is, you're looting in refrigerators and lockers, and if you have the right ability, you can also hide in those refrigerators and lockers, and we play the creepy like creeper breathing behind the locker. So it's an interactive world that the players turned loose on.
All right. Yeah. No, you guys. I feel like at a glance, I was like, what is this? Like, it's different, but it's hard to kind of glean how. But it's like you've got different stylistically, different mechanically. What are some points of interest on the map you want to call out? Because I was looking at the site, and there's something about like a silly hole. Is that it?
Yeah. So thank you for teeing that up. That is Cryptid Cove. That's our kind of love letter to like Showbiz Pizza. But there's been a lot of pain, and there's been a lot of mischief, and there's blood and guts in the silly hole. So you have to kind of be mindful as you're navigating those deep tubes.
There's blood and guts in the silly hole. There's a box quote for you. What about vehicles? Anything new going on there?
Yeah, we have the Trekmeister, which is our love letter to that mid-90s big American SUV. Some of the features that you won't get in probably any BR is you've got to wear your seatbelt.
No.
You got to wear that seatbelt, or if you're in a big crash, you will go right through that windshield, and sometimes that might be what you want for gameplay.
I'm into that.
You also can, if you have the right abilities, you can tear the door off and use it as a riot shield. And in the back of most trunks, there's a little bit of a workbench, so you can replenish your ammo, you can create med kits, or you can even repair your armor.
Okay, so hypothetically, if I was not wearing my seatbelt, which I do, I'm safe, I'm good. If I were to go crashing through the window and I had that snake ability, could I go from midair into sliding?
You will go very far, and people in playtest use it to get position on other characters. So the meta is the driver, safety first driver, wears the seatbelt. His passengers don't. He crashes into a wall, launches them.
I'm going to say that's a mode of traversal that hasn't quite been done to death yet. I think that's a bit novel there. What are the plans to roll this out? You've got a closed beta happening, or what's the plan?
Yeah, we're encouraging everyone to get to DeadNet and sign up for the beta. And soon we want you to play it with us, because we know from our experience on PUBG, making the game with fans is the only way to make games.
Okay, and you're doing PC first and then rolling out other places? Or what's the?
We're actually developed console first.
First, okay.
We're all old school console guys, and I myself love playing on the couch, kind of 8 feet away from the TV. So we wanted to make sure everything from gun feel to the UI UX on a screen across the living room, we wanted those console users to feel very cared for. But of course, we want everyone to play DeadNet. In fact, if I can get it working on those like Samsung TV refrigerators, I'll try to get a port to that. But the
beta should be console.
Sweet. In terms of just, I guess, like game turnaround time, is it sort of smaller rounds? Like what's the usual time frame in getting a match in, or a few matches?
Yeah, so a run can go theoretically as long as you can push it. The upper ends, internally when the devs play, 7, 8, 9, 10 matches feels like a pretty good run. Then we get it out to the community where the real gamers live, and they can push it up to like 15, 20, and you see the real hardcore players. But when you sit down for a single match, if you hot drop and get wiped, you're out in a quick 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
If you can make it to the end, you're looking about 25 to 30 minutes, and then you're into the out game to choose powers and injuries for your next match.
Huh. That's really interesting, because like I feel like battle royales are generally like the clock is ticking down. There's a pressure behind you, whereas roguelites, it's generally the opposite. It's like, yeah, one more round, let's see how long this can go. It's like you're seeing how long you can carry it out. How do you see that changes how people approach the game, like strategically, or is there kind of a have you seen people who are like really good at PUBG, Battlegrounds, jump into this and just get the floor mopped with them?
What you'll see is that every player starts off with what's fresh and with what's familiar, rather, right? They're like, if they're snipers, they're looking for a sniper build. If they're support, they're trying to pick up that support build. I think where our game shines is kind of mid-run, when even though maybe you started support or started sniper, we start tantalizing you with maybe powers that you wouldn't normally consider. Like, do you want to play dead? Do you want to use a boombox to get your team fired up? And that's where you start to kind of have these mutant builds that aren't where you thought you were going, but then you're kind of glad when you got there.
Interesting. Is there anything else you want to call out in particular?
I think like something really neat about the world is how maybe reactive it is compared to PUBG. A good example in PUBG, if you see a window, you can just crash right through it. Makes a little bit of noise, but you're in the building. In our game, you can slowly and silently open the window. You can slam it open really quick, but it makes a little bit of noise. You can crash through the window like PUBG, but then you leave a little pool of glass on the ground, and if people step on that glass, it makes noise. And then maybe you turn on a little bit of music so they don't hear you walking on that glass. So our world is just a little bit more tactile and gives players a little bit more of an opportunity to make strategic, weird, interesting plays than in previous titles.
Interesting. Yeah, I love how you out the gate, you're like, this is not about realism, but also a little bit is. Like a little bit more mechanics in there. That's interesting.
It's definitely a Hollywood realism. Like, we want players having the fantasy of, I'm doing what it takes, I'm sacrificing flesh for power, I'm in this desperate survival situation. But we want them to have fun while doing it.
Sweet. Well, PUBG.net will be coming to consoles sometime in the near future, but there's more Gamescom Studio 2026 coming up right here on IGN. Stick around.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus, awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus, ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus, unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus, access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films. And before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, like, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Hey everyone, Nick here with IGN at Gamescom 2026, and I just got finished playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 on the Nintendo Switch 2. And if you're hoping that this is a repeat of Elden Ring last year where the game just didn't run that well, I've got some bad news for you because it runs great. All right, let's talk about performance. I got to play a match of multiplayer and the frame rate is surprisingly solid, which it should be, you would hope so. It is Call of Duty. It runs at a pretty solid 60 FPS and I never noticed any slowdown or anything, even in the more intense moments. When there's a big firefight, there are multiple people going on, a helicopter that kept killing me, wasn't my fault. The one problem is that the game just kind of looked a little muddy and there were a few times that I just could not see any of my enemies. They were kind of blended in the background. They're a little muddy, a little mushy. You really have to get used to using that mini map on the top of the screen. But other than that, the game looked really good. Now the textures, you know, it's a Switch 2 at the end of the day. You're not going to get 4K. You're not going to get this like incredible, you know, ray tracing performance that you might get on a PS5 Pro or a PC, but it does look good. We did not get to play it on handheld though, and I'm sure like all the other really big AAA ports on the Switch 2, it's gonna kill your battery. But I did get to play it docked and it was good. It seems like they might be doing some background processing, most likely DLSS since most games on the Switch 2 have that. And it did, you know, it looked like a 1080p game on the Switch 2. Like Resident Evil looked great, Pragmata looked great, Assassin's Creed has looked good. Call of Duty now gets to join that. When it comes to controlling the game, I got to play it on a Switch 2 Pro controller. I really wish I got to see it with the Joy-Cons in a mouse mode, but that's kind of what you expect when you're at something like this. If you had everyone using a mouse, it would be, you know, chaos. The game felt tight, it felt responsive. There was no auto aim or anything like that with it, which was really nice. It just felt like a really rock solid port. If you can get over the visuals, which once again, it's the Switch 2, it's not, you know, the greatest handheld in the world, it's surprisingly fun. Now to go to Modern Warfare 4, if you haven't played it in any of the early demos or any of the betas or anything like that, this is Modern Warfare gaming at its purest. It is, the combat's really fast, the maps are super fun, you move around. Sometimes I got stuck on a few walls. That Pro Controller is a little bit too like lenient with getting me stuck on walls so I can peek around and stuff, but other than that, it was super fun. I got a lot of kill streaks, you know, lots of drones, never got the helicopter, but it was just the kind of game that you want. I've been waiting for a good rock solid portable Call of Duty since Black Ops Declassified dropped on the Vita, you know, ages ago. And this is finally it. If you've wanted a Call of Duty that you can play on the go, that isn't just a mobile port, it isn't just your cell phone game, this might be it. There was nothing super new outside of just movement feeling tighter and better. If you love Call of Duty and you're a Modern Warfare purist like I am from way back in the day, you're gonna love Modern Warfare 4. There's like less gadgets, there's less like weird stuff going on, and it's just 1v1 like firefights, controlling lanes, doing everything fun, getting kill streaks. It was surprisingly really fun, and I think this is a game that's gonna do really well in Switch 2 because if I can just take it wherever I go, play the game, have fun, it runs super well. Hopefully it doesn't kill my battery, which, you know, I mean, it's a Switch 2, so it'll kill your battery. I think this is a solid port, and I am pleasantly surprised, and I think a lot of you are going to be as well. This is a great port, and it's awesome for people to have the Switch 2. If that's your only option, you're not going to miss out on Call of Duty this year, so that's super rad. It's just a rock solid port, and it's another notch in Nintendo's belt on just having like a really good AAA port coming to their system. Obviously, your graphics are not going to look as good. Your gameplay, you're going to need some adjustment just because you can't just see someone super far away. You're going to have to like really pay attention to the game here. But other than that, it's as far as ports go, as far as Nintendo ports, Switch 2 ports, stuff like that, this is really, really good and definitely worth the price of admission if you only have a Switch 2. Now, if you can play it on other consoles or PC, I would definitely recommend that because that's just the best experience. But if you're like me, you want to play on the go, you don't really like sitting at a desk to play games all day, you kind of want to lean back on the couch and do this, this might be the perfect way to get back into Call of Duty or to continue playing Call of Duty. What I want to see though is that I want to see more multiplayer modes. I want to see some of the bigger modes that have, we're only playing with 12 people. I would love to see, does it support 32? Does it support 64? Are we going to get a battle royale? Are we going to get Warzone on this thing? Single player, I really want to see it because single player, I'm a Call of Duty purist. I love single player games. I really want to know, is that going to hit 60 or is it going to be a 30 and it's going to look cinematic? You know, there's just so much that I want to see. But as a first impression for this new Call of Duty game on the Switch 2, I am extremely surprised and I am really, really happy. If you couldn't tell, hopefully it's the same for you. And that's it for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 on the Switch 2. That's a whole lot of numbers for one sentence. I'm Nick. I'm going to be checking out a bunch of stuff at Gamescom, Star Wars Galactic Racer, Clutch, probably No Law, and yeah, there's tons of stuff. Stay here for everything Switch 2, Gamescom, Call of Duty. Keep it locked here at IGN.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Fable.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and offensive coverage. Or really maximize your Poke potential by digging into the stats by adjusting EVs and IVs. And save multiple team builds for different strategies in different games. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com. IGN Store has everything you need to level up your life.
Red 6 standing by.
Refresh your wardrobe with official gear you won't find anywhere else. From Fallout, Expedition 33, Romeo's a Dead Man, and more. Treat yourself to the coolest collectibles like an adorable SKA plush, your very own Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, and a fully functional Pip-Boy 3000. Or kick back and relax to your favorite video game soundtracks on vinyl. Whatever you need, IGN Store has you covered. Head to store.ign.com and start shopping today.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Hello, you're watching IGN's live coverage of Gamescom 2026. We're about to go and check out Tides of Annihilation, but before that, here's a few trailers, because you love trailers, right?
Entertain me better this time.
Imagine a world free from corruption. A world where we can simply breathe again. This is not that world. Yet. You'll have to fight to bring life back to this world. Every ending is a new beginning. When you fight for nature, you'll get boons to master. Until you restore all the springs. Revive Hantu creatures from the brink of extinction. Upgrade them. And unleash unique attacks together against your enemies. And to save your family, you'll have to face nature's wrath without losing yourself in the process.
You're watching Gamescom Studio right here on IGN. Tides of Annihilation is the massive new fantasy action game that looks absolutely stunning. Here to tell me what players can expect when they finally get their hands on it is Ari Chen, co-CEO and game director at Eclipse Globe Games. Welcome.
你好.
Hello. So, Tides of Annihilation. In this game, we're playing as Gwendolyn, who has inherited the power of King Arthur when London is destroyed. What do we need to know about this game?
然后他想知道，因为我们的游戏讲了，就是格温德林他在伦敦毁灭的时候，他是唯一的幸存者。那么有没有什么能介绍一下我们这款游戏的？
湮灭之潮呢是一个日式边缘，我们作为工作室全新的一款新的作品，它是基于亚瑟王神话去改编的。那格温德林呢是我们的女主角，对，完了她呢是在我们的设定里面，她是。作为主角骑士带领骑士作战这样的一个设计，对。
So we are a brand new game from a brand new studio because like we are a brand new IP, and for our Gwendolyn, she is the like last human survivor, and she will lead the knight.
Yeah, speaking of those knights, she has the ability to summon knights to help her in combat. Can you tell us about these knights?
她有一个召唤骑士的能力，我们能不能介绍一下这些骑士呢？
好的，我们的核心设计就是，主角带领骑士作战这样的一个全新的骑士战斗。那我们的这个游戏里面，玩家可以同时去装配2套骑士的组合。那每一套骑士分别有一个主骑士和一个副的骑士。
So in the heart of our game is our like dual frontline battle system, which means you can have 2 knight set, and for each knight set you can have like 1 main knight and 1 sub knight.
在这次科隆的 demo 里面的话，玩家可以体验到5个骑士，那分别有这个全骑士帕勒米德斯，他其实擅长的是蓄力攻击和防御，是一位双位的骑士，他既可以作为主骑士，也同时可以去作为副骑士。
So in our Gamescom demo, you can see like first of all there is 5 knights in our demo, and one of them named is the 5th knight Palamedes, and he is a dual slot knight, which means he can be both like main knight or sub knight, and he is like pretty good at defense and also charge attack.
还有风骑士这个加赫里斯，他擅长的是高速浮空的连击，他是一位主骑士。
And secondly, we have our Wind Knight, whose name is Gaharis, and he is very good at like high pace and aerial slam, and he is a main knight.
其他的话还有这个太阳骑士高文、时间骑士凯，对，完了还有这个镰刀骑士贝德维尔，他们都会有自己不同的设计。
And also we have the Sun Knight Gawain, we also have Bedville, and we also have the Time Knight K, and they both have like very different, unique abilities.
我们希望通过不同的骑士组合，让玩家在整个游戏的战斗体验中有丰富的组合、丰富的游戏体验。
So because like you know these knights have like different abilities, we want our players to feel like they can set their like combos they want. They can have like rich experience to playing our demos.
Can the knights also be used outside of combat? Do they help with exploring the world?
骑士在就是战斗之外能被使用吗？就比如说帮我们探索之类的。
对，是的，我们整个游戏的主题跟骑士息息相关。那这些不同的骑士在整个游戏的关卡探索中也会有不同的设计。 比如说宫骑士，它可以去解谜一些基于弓箭射击的一些谜题。那比如拳骑士帕拉美德斯，它其实是可以去移动一些物体，完了并且摧毁一些脆弱的墙壁，完了让整个关卡探索更有乐趣。
Yeah, of course, like beyond combat, those knights can also help us like do the exploration. For example, like we have the boars who can like help us solving the like puzzles which are like highly related to shooting. For example, like he can shoot a rope and leads Gwendolyn to some place that she can never reach before. And also we have Palamedes, and he can like move things, and also like he can crash the weak wall.
And who is this redheaded character that we see here?
我们现在看到的这位红头发的女性角色是谁？
她是妮妮安，她在游戏里面是一个非常关键的一个角色，她会跟女主角有非常多的这个在剧情设计上有非常多的这种联系。
This is Ninian. She is like a companion of Gwendolyn, and she is very like crucial character in our game.
So getting back to the knights for a second, how are the knights summoned? Do you have to build up a meter, and then do they have a cooldown time before you can summon them again?
我们的骑士就是，比如说我们召唤他们的时候需要什么能量条吗？或者他们有什么冷却 CD 吗？召唤他们的时候。
OK，召唤这些骑士不需要任何的能量。获得了这些骑士之后，就可以直接装配并且使用这些骑士了。但是骑士在战斗的过程中，它是需要这个骑士的能量来释放某些技能的。
So you don't need like any energy to like summon those knights, but you will need like the knight energy to like let those knights like use their abilities.
And then are the knights unlocked slowly as you progress, and can they be upgraded?
他们能够被升级吗？然后还是他们是比如说随着章节逐渐被解锁的？
他们是随着章节逐渐的去解锁的。我们刚才提到整个游戏，我们其实骑士都是贯穿始终的，所以它在战斗中、在剧情里面，完了在关卡解谜里面，都会起到不同的设计和作用。
So the knights are like very crucial to our game. They are like one of our key theme. So like they are not only appears in combat, in exploration, but also like appears in the level. So while you are like playing our game, you will unlock those knights like later.
So what can you tell us about the design of the world? Is it linear and level based, or is it more opened, maybe a little bit more Metroidvania?
能不能介绍一下我们游戏它是一个线性的，还是一个半开放的，还是一个相停的？
我们整个游戏随着剧情的发展，它是一个偏线性的一个游戏，整个关卡也是偏线性的。但是我们会在一些区域去做成这种半开放式的设计，给玩家在整个关卡探索里面有更多的空间，也会有更多的机制去提升关卡探索的乐趣。
So we are a linear narrative game because like you will see like there is, as the story goes on, this is like very obvious, but we have those like semi-open areas where you can like do exploration and also like solving puzzles here, and also like there is side quest here.
And what can you tell us about this part of the game that we're seeing right now?
就对于我们现在看到这一段，我们有没有什么想跟他说的？
这是这个大罗素博物馆，我们的整个这个游戏设计是基于亚瑟王，大家已经知道了。这个大罗素博物馆大家也能看得到，我们的核心设计是来自于英国的大英博物馆。所以我们其实希望在游戏里面有不同的这种文化的这种融合，能体现更多的这种来自不同国家的文化。那当然，大英博物馆正给了我们游戏创作的这样的一个空间。
Yeah. The place you can see here is the Great Russell Museum, and it is inspired by the British Museum, because like the British Museum is a place you can see like all the goods, and like there are different cultures there. So it is a place like we can put like our imagination on it. So you can see like we have the Chinese gallery, we have the Egyptian gallery.
Yeah, 所以在这个博物馆里面，可以体验到这个中国馆，也会体验到这个。来自于埃及的设计，完了埃及馆也有这个阿努比斯这样的有明确埃及文化这样的 BOSS 设计。
So you will see like there is like different cultural elements and also like different mythology. For example, you will see like Anubis, who is come from the Egyptian mythology.
What was it about the Arthurian legend that you were drawn to and that you were inspired by?
我们就是我们之前一直提到的，就是我们是从亚瑟王传说改编的。那这里有没有什么体现呢？
是这样，就是我们整个游戏刚才提到，我们是从这个核心战斗，居骑士和骑士作战这样去作为一个创新的出发点去设计的。那我们当时考虑这个游戏题材的时候，就考虑，那亚瑟王这个神话故事，它在全球都非常有影响力，同时它有非常多的这种骑士设计跟我们的骑士战斗设计非常契合，所以我们就选择了亚瑟王这个题材。那亚瑟王呢又来自于英国，所以我们就把现实的这个伦敦以异世界这样的融合作为了我们整个游戏的这个世界观的一些设计里面。
Yeah, so our whole story is like highly inspired by the Arthurian legend. So because like we decided our combat system first, and then we thought like Arthurian legend is a perfect fit to that. And like for this place is because like Arthurian legend is derived from England, so we think like those places are like overlap. So this is also like another reason why we like made the Great Rasu Museum here.
Does Gwendolyn find new weapons during her adventure?
格温德林在探索的时候有找到新的武器吗？
我们会的，整个游戏这个关卡探索里面，其实可以格温德林会收集这个新的武器。我们在整个游戏设计里面也有基于角色扮演相关的这个一些装备啊，以及说符文的设计。所有的核心其实还是希望围绕战斗，让玩家有更多的这种战斗的组合和体验。对。
So we want the players to have like more freedom in combat. So not only the weapon you mentioned can be collected in the game, but also like there are also equipment you can gain from the game, and you can like decide what kind of like playing style you want.
并且我们认为我们的产品是一款动作冒险游戏。那动作战斗和冒险整个是我们整个游戏设计的核心出发点。那冒险的这个过程中，除了关卡探索的之外，如果能够获得到它一些新的道具，其实这也会给关卡探索和整个游戏的这种冒险更有这种目标感。
So the core of our game is action adventure game. So for action, you can see like there's combat, there's like related to the knights, and for the exploration, you can see like there's puzzle solving and also like the weapons collecting you mentioned, also like other equipment. So like those combination like gives us the freedom to decide like what kind of play style you want.
What's your personal preferred play style?
你个人最喜欢的就是一种玩法是什么？或者说组合？
我个人喜欢的是这个帕拉米德斯和这个时间骑士凯，这两个骑士是我个人最喜欢的。一个因为这个时间骑士它是有控制的能力，而帕拉米德斯它其实是既可以做这个主骑士，又可以作为副骑士，完了同时它是这种强壮的这个蓄力的这种冲拳，非常有力量感，我特别喜欢。
So he personally loves the combination of Palamedes and K, because like Palamedes, when he works as the main knight, he is like he can use powerful charge attacks, which is like super powerful. And for like the sub knight, when you use K, he can use like for example the time control. So they can like form a combo. So he personally likes this best.
You've also revealed that Angela Sant Albano has taken over the role of Gwendolyn. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Viewers might recognize her voice from a little game called Resident Evil Requiem from earlier this year. She played Grace in that game. So tell us about what Angela brings to the role of Gwendolyn.
能不能更多介绍一下？因为 Angela 她其实也是《生化危机》的一个主演配音嘛。那么她有没有给我们的游戏带来一些新的什么内容，或者说她有没有给我们注入一些新的能量？
那当然，我们非常荣幸，这个能够跟 Angela 去合作，格温德林的这个新的表演。因为大家知道，就是我们之前的配音演员是 Jennifer English， 那 Jennifer 和Angela 两位都是非常非常优秀的这个演员。我们也非常荣幸能在同一款产品上去跟两位配音演员去合作。那 Jennifer 呢，是因为她身体的原因退出了这个格文的这个表演。 但是我们非常尊重他，因为他是这个我们非常尊重他，因为身体这个原因的退出，但他并没有完全离开项目，他也会作为配音的这个指导参与到这个项目里面，并且这个 Jennifer 退出之后呢，也非常积极的帮我们去介绍新的配音演员。那最终我们现在已经决定，并且已经向玩家公布，我们现在在跟 Angela 去合作接下来的这样的一个格文的这样的一个表演演出，所以希望大家期待 Angela 在整个这个游戏里面给格温德林一个全新的演绎，完了并且继续支持我们这个游戏，谢谢。
Yeah, so for Angela, she's such a great artist, and also like as you know, we previously have Jennifer English as our audio artist. They are both very good artists. So we truly like respect like how Jennifer stepped out as the VO artist of Gwen because of her health issue, but she has not stepped out of our game. So she recommend us a few actresses who can play the role of Gwen. And Angela is kind of amazing, and please stay tuned to see like how she will perform as our Gwen VO, and please wishlist our game.
We will definitely stay tuned. Tides of Annihilation is looking very cool. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stick around. There is tons more Gamescom Studio coming up ahead. Don't go anywhere.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately 25 minutes worth of wall-to-wall deep dive analysis. To simulate that pace for this 30-second ad, we're featuring 26 different films, and before you say it, no, that math does not check out. We're not math people, we're movie people. We can't even count down from 10 without ending up at, like, 96. Subscribe to IGN Movies and TV for more Cinefix movie lists. Bad at math, great at movies.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
IGN Plus is where your adventure begins.
What are you selling?
Plus is the place to get unlimited access to all the tools you need to beat your games.
Here's what you need to know for bringing down Gloomspawn.
Plus awesome exclusive discounts on IGN Store.
Maybe this would tease open your money pouch.
Plus ad-free browsing on IGN.com. Plus unlimited game help tools like premium interactive maps with your own custom map markers, filters, marker notes, and more.
This will come in handy.
Plus access to sweepstakes, giveaways, and free game keys.
Wow! Exactly.
Want more? Head to IGN.com/plus and start your adventure today.
What's up, everyone? Nick with IGN here. We're at Gamescom 2026, and we're checking out Total War Warhammer 40K. I'm here with David and Joy from Creative Assembly. How you guys doing?
Yeah, super.
Yeah, great.
Awesome. The 40K universe is gigantic. How can the Total War entry be like a good entry point for people that are interested in Warhammer?
So, I mean, it's a really good entry point because, again, like we've got this wonderful, tutorial experience. We'll take you through the basics of how to play the game, how to get grips with Total War, but then also start to introduce you the lore and the characters, right?
Yeah, we're making the most approachable tutorial that we've ever made before because it is such a complex game.
Yeah.
So we've thought about this right from the start, and we're trying to add things for everyone. So there's going to be something there for someone who's new to Total War, to the whole franchise. There will be something there for returning Total War players as well, and even something there for our 40k fans.
Awesome. So if someone is like, I've always thought it was cool. I've seen like TikTok videos about the lore because there's trillions of them out there.
Of course, yeah.
And they thought, Space Marine's not like my entry point. I kind of want something that's closer to the actual tabletop experience, which is this game. Is there anything you think that they should have to read or watch beforehand, or can they just dive right in?
You don't need to. I mean, if you love the lore, then you will love this, right? The team and everyone has put so much effort into making sure that we are authentic, and we've got a very, very close relationship with Games Workshop, and we're always chatting with them about how to get our features to feel authentic, come through in the right way, and so there's a fantastic relationship there. But you don't need to know necessarily anything at all. Like I said, we've got this tutorial experience that will introduce you to some of the core concepts as you come in, and you can spider your way from there. So yeah, if you love the lore, you'll love it. If you don't know the lore, don't worry, you'll love it. As long as you're into the concept of it, you'll have a great time.
The tutorial is also onboarding people to the lore.
Yeah.
Because it's so big. It's so big, right? You have to start somewhere.
So tell me about that tutorial. Like, how does it prime new players into not only Warhammer but also Total War?
Total War is such a big and complex game with a lot of strategy involved. So the tutorial is broken up to take you to that strategic point, but step by step. So you will start small, you'll learn how to move around an army on the planet this time, not a flat map. And you get introduced to the new mechanics that's never been in a Total War game before. For example, the fleets. We've not had fleets before, and moving between planets.
So yeah, we've got these kind of like new sort of supporting elements in the campaign. Your fleet really does matter because, of course, that's, like you said, how you'll move between planets, but also it's how you support your armies within the battle, right? So making sure that you have the right units lined up before you go into battle, so you can, teleport your Terminators to the right spot at the right time, or drop pod in and smash through some stuff. You need to make sure that you've teed up your strategy on the campaign layer in order to make sure that your battles are successful. But
yeah, there are other aspects of the fleet as well, right?
Yeah.
Like the orbital bombardments,
Yeah.
which is something else that's tying the campaign to the battle.
Right on. So this is the first time anyone's been able to play it outside of just internally. How's the reception been?
It's very exciting. It's been super, honestly. It's been really, really cool. There's three different experiences in here at the moment. So there's the beginnings, the tutorial, the first part of the tutorial. We've got some campaign gameplay as well. And then there is a pretty tough battle for those people that if they get through those bits, or they're already a bit of a TW vet, they can come in and sort of like cut their teeth against it. It's been amazing to see everyone experiencing the different spectrum of stuff. We've had a few losses on the hard battle. We've had some triumphant wins. It's been really, really cool.
People see the booth and they ask, "Oh, is there a playable demo in there?" And there is, and I don't know. There's a huge queue.
Yeah, I've seen people coming in all morning. Okay, so people are like veterans of Total War, or they played way back in the day and they want to kind of come back into it. What sets this one apart from previous entries?
So there's a lot of explosions and there's a lot of guns. And I mean, so yeah, honestly, I think just the fact that the setting is now in this far sort of like distant fantasy future, where we have these wild, explosive bombardments, we have like crazy spells going off. Just it's so high octane, I think, by comparison to previous Total War. Yet at the same time, the overall scope of it and how you control it is going to feel very, very familiar. So it won't feel distant to a Total War player, but it definitely does, explosive, and we call it emergent chaos, an experience of emergent chaos, right? So there's lots and lots of new stuff to experience.
Yeah, touched on it earlier. We are now in space and we are moving up between planets instead of a flat map, which makes a big difference.
Yeah. So you'll fight your campaigns across entire solar systems, a part of a larger sort of like multiple campaigns over one galaxy, effectively. So there's this whole massive sequence of campaigns that we're fighting. It's huge. It's really exciting.
Awesome. So there's just a ton for returning players to sink into, and for new people to go, oh my god, it's so huge. That's awesome. Yeah. What are you hoping people discover and obsess with over in this game? Like any little bit of lore, some Easter eggs,
So I love orcs. I really, really love orcs. They're my favorite guys.
Yep.
And all of the factions, we try to make sure we put in like little bits of love. Basically, that the people that really get and love the lore will say like, oh wow, like there's the attention to detail is there, right? And particularly so for me, for the orcs, we really went in on trying to make sure that we do some fun and wild stuff with them. So like Storm Boys don't always fly in a straight line. Sometimes they'll spiral off and explode, especially if you kill them mid-flight. The battle wagons can veer off and careen and blow up and all sorts of stuff. We've gone into this sort of concept of having these like systemic and chaotic deaths that can happen basically. So as things die, they can start blowing up and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really fun stuff there. But for the orcs, that feels like absolutely on tee. Their tech is haywire, and it doesn't always work.
Mm-hmm.
But when it works, they sort of like fail upwards, So it's a lot of fun to be had with that.
Make sure you pause when you play those battles to really take in the scene there. But I think another thing that people will maybe obsess over is how you can make this your own. You can make it your own story. It starts with customization. You get to pick your name, you pick your colors, pick your emblem, and it's yours. It's your story.
How deep are you getting into the lore? For people that are like, I am a Warhammer purist, like what,
So I think we're trying to represent the lore as authentically as we can, and that comes down to scale as well, right? So when it comes to like size of units, I think a lot of people look at this and without knowing about Warhammer 40,000, they go, oh look, like the Space Marines look small, right? And it's like, well, yes, because there's very, very few of them. They are like the thinnest blue line holding back, like the worst threats in the galaxy. And when you play as them, your units are going to be small, right? There's up to 10 in a squad. Terminators will be coming in only like 5. But then you have that wild asymmetry where obviously Astra Militarum, the guards, and the orcs, they come in the hundreds, right? So that difference in scale, I think, is like a really key sort of like note towards getting that lore right and that scale right. So hopefully we've captured it there. But in the campaign too, obviously there's going to be all sorts of events and things that capture the juice.
Awesome. Okay, so the Stomper is the biggest unit in a Total War game, I'm told.
For now.
Will we see more? What else are we going to see as a series first in this?
The series first. We've integrated Havoc, so we're using physics now to sort of like blow up buildings and do all sorts of exciting stuff there.
Yeah.
We really wanted to make sure that the firepower that you have available to you in this universe is really brought to bear and represented properly, and that means that those buildings can't stay there. Those trees can't necessarily stay there, right? You have to blow them up. So we put a lot of work into making sure that you can do these like exciting and bombastic things. Really tear apart the battlefield when you start dropping in your bombardments.
It's probably a little early for this, but post-release support, are we going to see more factions, more planets? What can we expect?
Well, there's a lot to work with there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Warhammer 40,000 is huge.
Yeah, but we want to do it all. I mean, we want to do as much as we can, right? Like, obviously. So with Warhammer previously, we did as much as we possibly could, and we're going to do the same thing again, right? Like, we want to try and capture absolutely everything. There's whenever we talk about the factions that are in the game, we've got our 4 starting factions, Orcs, Astra Militarum, Eldarian, Space Marines, of course. But whenever we talk to anyone about it, they're like, "That sounds great. When's my faction coming?" And it's like, "It's coming. Don't worry. We're going to work on it." So yeah, System of Battle, Chaos, all of that. It's Necron, Tau. We're going to get them in.
I was going to say, any Chaos Space Marines yet?
Chaos are very, very important, and they are going to be there.
Awesome. So when can people find out more about the game, release date, anything like that?
We're looking at next year.
Okay. Awesome.
That is when we are looking for that. And we are going to be doing a closed beta, I believe, later this year as well. So please do sign up for that as well, and do come along and get involved. That's going to be the first sort of like, real, true public taste of the game. So yeah, jump in and get involved.
Awesome. Well, thanks a ton. And there you have it, David, Joy. Really appreciate it. I'm super excited for the game when it comes out next year. Just really stoked to see more. For everything Gamescom, Warhammer, and Total War, stick with IGN.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.
Catch up on all your favorite shows with up-to-the-minute gaming and entertainment news with Geek Media Podcasts.
Welcome to a very special episode of IGN Game Scoop.
Game Scoop has you covered for all things gaming and the latest game releases. Tune into Podcast Beyond for the biggest PlayStation news.
Man, this is a cool looking trailer.
Everything Xbox on Podcasts Unlocked.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief.
Catch up with your Super Nintendos on Nintendo Voice Chat.
Let the kids love what we love.
And get all the latest console news and rumors with Next Gen Console Watch.
Now Xbox and Phil Spencer are even saying that a mid-gen refresh isn't even necessary.
The Cinefix Top 100 podcast picks a movie every week to celebrate and debate.
It's kind of every movie's grandpa.
Geek Media Podcasts, the best podcasts from around the world.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. You can even track your progress with interactive checklists so you know you reached that 100% completion.
I will not suffer.
IGN has the very best, most complete, and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, and so much more. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
You're watching Gamescom Studio right here on IGN. Terrain the Unbound is one of the best-looking action RPGs we've ever seen, and here to tell us all about it is In Young Koo, Byung Ho Park, and Myung Sung Ryu. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. So, first of all, congratulations on the big reveal. I've seen a lot of positive responses. Tell us about your game, Terrain the Unbound.
게임 공개된 거 축하드립니다. 탈의 언바운드에 대해서 좀 소개 부탁드릴게요.
일단 축하해드려서 감사드립니다. 탈에는 15세기에서 17세기 동아시아 문화권을 배경으로 한 동양 다크 판타지 액션 RPG입니다. 기존에 수많은 액션 RPG들이 존재하지만 대부분 서양의 중세 문화권을 다루고 있는데요. 탈에는 동양의 전통 미학과 흥미로운 설화들을 재해석해 서구권 판타지와는 다른 또 다른 매력을 가진 게임이라고 봐주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
First off, thank you so much for congratulating us. Terrain the Unbound is a dark fantasy action RPG based in East Asia between the 15th and 17th century. There are many action RPGs out there, but most of them are based in medieval Europe. Terrain the Unbound reinterprets Eastern aesthetics and folklore and comes up with a new attractive game.
So to start off with, I believe there are 6 distinct classes to choose from. What can you tell us about these classes?
6개의 직업이 있다고 들었는데요. 이것에 대해서 설명 부탁드립니다.
탈의 6개의 직업들은 동양의 문화에서 영감을 받은 것들을 가져와서 탈의만으로 재해석해가지고 활용을 했고요. 이 직업들 쪽은 이 직업들 쪽은 생각이 잘 안 나는데 아쉬웠고
네, 탈에는 6개의 클래스가 존재하는데요. 각각의 특징을 가진 클래스들로 이루어져 있습니다. 전체적으로 설명하기는 좀 분량이 많아서 짧게 설명을 좀 드리면 일단 근접 딜러인 검술의 자세가 특징인 사무라이가 있고요. 그리고 총사 화약과 덫을 다루는 차코갑사, 그리고 오행의 기운을 활용하는 풍수사가 존재합니다. 이외에 인수를 펼치는 쿠노이치라든지 그리고 연계기를 활용하는 투기 등 다양한 어떤 특징들을 가지고 있는 클래스들이 있습니다.
We have 6 distinct classes in our game. They are reinterpreted from Eastern cultures, and we have different distinct characteristics for each class. And let me briefly introduce some of them. First is Samurai. It is a melee dealer and we have a tiger hunter that is a gunner, and we have a geomancer, and we also have kunoichi, which performs ninja arts, and we also have warfiend.
What about the combat? We hear it's more swords and gunpowder, less focus on magic. Is that correct?
전투에 대해서 좀 알려주시면 좋겠는데요. 마법보다는 좀 검술이라든지 이런 것에 더 치중을 한다고 들었는데 그게 맞을까요?
전투 같은 경우는 단순히 한 전투의 방향으로만 가지고 있는 것은 아닙니다. 음향과 오행 관련된 부분들 쪽이나 아니면은 인술 같은 것들처럼 동양에서 사용하는 뭐 특이한 요소들을 가져와서 사용을 하고 있고요. 그다음에 주술 등 이런 것들 특별한 것들을 사용을 하고 있고 그리고 생각이 또 안 나네. 미치겠네.
주술은 뭐 사실 서양권에서 얘기하는 어떤 그런 마법은 사실은 이제 동양에서는 주술이라고 표현을 많이 하는데요. 주술을 사용하는 캐릭터인 풍수사 그리고 그 정신력인 어떤 소환을 하는 영적인 존재와 동화되는 무당을 컨셉으로 한 만신이라는 캐릭터가 존재합니다. 그래서 화약과 덫을 다루는 차코가 앞서도 있긴 하지만 물리적인 캐릭터와 어떤 주술적인 캐릭터가 지금 6개 클래스 중 반반씩 구성이 되어 있다라고 보시면 될 것 같습니다.
In terms of combat, we have different very unique elements like the yin and yang combination and 5 elements and ninja arts. And we also have a different special skill related to shamanism. In the West, you call it magic, but in the East, we usually refer to as spell casting or shamanism. And we have a class called Geomancer that uses that skill. And we also have Manshin, which is a Korean shaman that uses spiritual channeling as a skill. And there are also physical skills. There are also classes that use physical skills like the gunpowder and traps as well. So you can say that we have classes that use different physical aspects as well as mental and other aspects as well.
And what about the loot system? Can we expect a pretty steady stream of getting new loot and new weapons?
새로운 파밍 시스템이라든지 새로운 시스템이 계속 추가될 예정인지 궁금합니다.
파밍 시스템 같은 거 부분들 쪽은 새롭게 그 시즌 준비하면서 새롭게 하는 것들 쪽이고요. 저희는 동양 문화에 맞춰 가지고 음향 특성 관련된 부분들 쪽이라든지 아니면은 오행에 관련된 부분들 쪽이라든지 여러 가지 새로운 시스템들을 가지고 있습니다.
There will be new seasons for looting, and we will also have different systems that involves yin and yang and 5 elements as well.
Do you plan to release the game in early access like many games in this genre do?
이 장르 게임들이 보통 하는 것처럼 얼리 액세스를 혹시 하실 예정일까요?
아직 그 부분에 대해서는 확정된 거는 없고요. 저희 글로벌 퍼블리셔인 이제 크래프톤과 좀 더 논의를 하고 난 다음에 공개할 예정입니다. 네.
We haven't confirmed anything in that respect. We will have to speak with our global publisher Krafton, and we'll be sure to let you know.
We're seeing a lot of cool monsters here. I think in your opening night live footage, we also seemed to be a giant toad with a flaming tongue. Are these all creatures based in myth?
ONL에서 보니까 고로 같은 그런 괴물이 나오던데요. 이런 게 다 신화에서 비롯된 것일까요?
전부 다 그런 것은 아니고 아무래도 각 국가별로 아무래도 저희가 이제 각 동아시아 문화의 설화 같은 부분들을 차용한 부분들이 많기 때문에 좀 대표적인 예로는 동양에서 주로 쓰이는 구미호 그런 이제 대표적인 캐릭터들이나 근데 대표들 들면 그거를 얘기할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Not all of them are based in mythology, but we do have different bosses that are based off of East Asian mythology. And one example would be the nine-tailed fox.
Is this a boss fight that we're seeing here?
이거 지금 보스 파이트 중인 거 맞나요?
Yeah, right.
Cool. Is this going to be a single-player only game, or are you also looking at co-op?
싱글 플레이만 있을까요? 아니면 협동 플레이도 가능한가요?
우선 저희는 캠페인에 대한 비중을 좀 높게 생각을 하고 있습니다. 그래서 캠페인을 진행할 때는 싱글 플레이로 진행을 하고 이후에 이제 본격적으로 빌드 크래프팅을 하는 엔드 게임으로 진입하게 됩니다. 엔드 게임에서 실제로 이제 유저들과 코업하는 컨텐츠들이 존재합니다.
First off, we are giving a big emphasis on the campaign itself, and the campaign mode will be a single player mode. And once you go on to the end game, there will be build crafting, and you'll be able to join other players there.
Do you have a release window that you're aiming for?
네, 출시 예정 시기가 있을까요?
네, 2027년을 목표로 개발을 하고 있습니다.
Yes, we are targeting to release in 2027.
Very cool. And how about platforms?
어떤 플랫폼에서 출시할 예정인가요?
저희는 타레를 전 세계 유저들이 이 매력적인 세계를 동일하게 경험할 수 있도록 PC와 콘솔에서 동시 출시를 목표로 개발을 진행하고 있습니다.
We are targeting for simultaneous release on PC and console so that the global audience will be able to enjoy the Tara the Unbound in the same way possible in the same timing.
Could it run on Nintendo Switch 2? Nintendo Switch 2.
닌텐도 스위치 2도 혹시 계획하고 계신가요?
지금은 계획하고 있지는 않고요. 차후 어떻게 될지는 좀 생각을 해봐야 될 것 같습니다.
We aren't planning it now, but we will give it a thought.
Well, Tara the Unbound, it looks very cool. It looks like a breath of fresh air in this genre. I can't wait to see more. Thank you all so much for coming by.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Okay, Tara the Unbound is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC sooner or later. But in the meantime, we've got lots more coverage of Gamescom 2026 right here on IGN, so don't go anywhere.
The hour of judgment is upon us. I'm Maria and I'm here with Damien Kuturek, the creative director of Antara Games, to dive deeper into the horrors that await us in the upcoming asymmetrical multiplayer horror game Saw Genesis. How's your Gamescom been so far?
It's been good. It's been really good. We just started, letting people in and playing the game, so the reception so far is really awesome. And yeah, it's a very big IP, so for us it's always, exciting, but also, a lot of pressure on us as well.
I was thinking, I feel like Gamescom can be a little bit of a survival game in itself, so I feel like this would be a good prep for everyone when the games come out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so the first main question I wanted to ask you is, how is Saw Genesis different from any other asymmetrical horror games that are out there?
So that's a good question. A few things that we started from to kind of get something unique in the game is Judge, our killer side, is vulnerable. They can be killed. They are not, the unstoppable physical force. Quite the opposite. You have to, play smart. You have to prepare situations. And if you overplay your hand, you just go down. You can easily die.
Yeah.
So that definitely changes the dynamic, because the survivors, they are in a tough and desperate situation, but they are not, the people that cannot do anything. They can actually kill them. So that's the one idea that kind of guided us through the beginning, why it actually works. And the second one is the cooperative side. So we try to do it because, we put the locations, it's, the Saw style, it's mostly some sort of building or a location, so it's more cramped, it's more isolated, so it naturally also creates the people to play together, basically. So they have to cooperate more. They actually are in this together. I have to go through it. So the cooperative aspect is the other side that kind of allows us to create a different dynamic than you usually encounter.
And we spoke about the cooperative aspect. So what if there's players who, you know, just want to go it solo, will they be able to do that, or is this like a very integral part to work together?
No, so that's the kind of thin red line that we try to skate on, basically. So we want to make sure that, you know, if you want to just play solo, you can. So we, you know, put a lot of things to inform you, to give you, you know, information on what happened, what is the state of the game, what is the next objective. So, you know, if someone finds an objective, then you also get informed on it. So you can play without, you know, for example, voice communication, and, you know, a lot of you can play around and with the ping system. Of course, you know, people that play together will probably be better. So that's the kind of matchmaking. We'll have to take that kind of into consideration as well. So, so to keep it in line, but we don't want to stop players kind of to just going into it and playing part of the game. And fortunately for us, a lot, you know, the location kind of forces you to be together, and you know there is safety in the kind of playing together, and if you go on your own, you're always risking stuff. So there is a lot of things that help us kind of keep that group playing together and trying.
Yeah, and that was like another question I was going to ask, like how are you going to make sure that the community keeps thriving for the years? Because you know how there's metas that evolve, like certain builds and like the way they work together. Is there something that you're looking to make sure that that kind of stays fresh?
Yeah, so one of the very early things that we kind of started designing the game around is that we cannot design a game that comes out and then think about what's next, because then it's probably too late. So a lot of the things that we made were made with that in mind. So kind of a lot of it is technical, production-wise, to make sure that, you know, we can expand the roster. I can add more stuff. We can add more locations. There are things like, for example, in the locations there are challenges. There are kind of the big puzzles for the players. So we made sure that the challenges are not tied to a location. So if we add a new challenge, then it populates over the entire game, so you can kind of encounter it. So a lot of the stuff kind of gives us options, and then the rest is the plan. So we plan the game from kind of early access, and then, you know, every 3 months or a period of time, kind of we give something new, a big drop of, you know, new characters, new perks, new location, new story elements. So there is something for everyone, so we want to keep it fresh.
Well, that's great to hear. So there's lots to look forward to. I also wanted to know the 1920 setting and the judge, how is that connected to Jigsaw?
The connection is very light, and I don't want to sell everything, but basically this is an information of the group that Jigsaw will find in the future. Basically, that is the idea. The 1920s gives us an option to create something kind of unique, something original in the IP, and at the same time, you know, our group, our judges, they are the imperfect versions. Their traps aren't the perfected versions. They have weaknesses. Their tests aren't really sure. They are experimenting. They are trying. They are kind of, you know, hey, maybe this will work. And if not, then well, that's it happened. Let's go. So there are kind of what we wanted to do mostly in the game is to kind of give you. There might be something that, you know, he got inspired by, but he didn't use it. He sees them. No, you didn't do it well. I do it well, and that's the thing that we want, because John Kramer is the Jigsaw, and we want to keep him as the Jigsaw and not, you know, have someone before them, basically.
Yeah. So will Billy the puppet be in it?
So we have our own puppet, and that's what I'm gonna say right now. And she's called Betty. So.
And with the traps, I have to know, were there any that were a bit too gory, where we're like, oh, we have to kind of leave that out?
Yeah. So we honestly, it's a lot of exploration and trying to find where the line actually is, and you will cross that line at some point. One of the ideas that we're still kind of still playing with is that you're in first person. That's kind of the fantasy that you can have in the movie. So you're sitting in the first person in the trap, so when it happens, it kind of happens to you.
Oh, wow.
And that can be really uncomfortable sometimes. So we definitely did play a lot with it, and there were some ideas that kind of I don't even know if stopped. So far they're kind of frozen because we need to see how far can we go,
Yeah.
and how far is also cool. Because, you know, there is a point where we make a game where nobody wants to play because there's, you know, there's too much of it, and that's probably, you know, too far, and so we are trying to keep it so that it is gory and gruesome, but it is also cool, you know, and it's not too far.
Yeah. And then I wanted to know, do you have a favorite trap maybe that you can tell us about?
Maybe from the ones that we've shown, and the one that is this also can be played through is the acid trap.
Okay.
Because you have to take, you know, an old rusty spoon and take your own eye out, which is gruesome.
Yeah.
But I also think that this is one of the ideas that really gives us something that you don't see in the movies, because it's a small thing. But when you're looking at it and that spoon kind of comes to your eye, that is a very visceral experience that really kind of works. So that would be my current favorite, and you know, it can change.
So now the judge has like kind of like the overview. Like, what is there like any tips that you can give players who might be jumping into it soon?
So play with it, kind of play with the people, try to bait them, try to, you know, lock them in rooms, try to separate them, kind of. The strike isn't always important. First is creating the situation, kind of forcing them into going different ways, creating chaos. That's the thing. So when you focus on that, then it kind of plays really awesome.
But can you tell me, when can we expect to play it?
So right now we're running closed alpha tests, so we're heading into the second one. We just got the first one, and we're aiming for fall of 2026, and we'll be informing about the exact date when we get there.
Okay, very exciting.
Your book, bound in blood, inspires those who are worthy.
Thank you again so much for chatting to us about Sword Genesis. For more Sword Genesis than anything else, make sure you stay tuned to IGN.
Duty Modern Warfare 4, which is a huge mouthful, on the Switch 2. Okay. It was an insane thing to say. It is an insane thing to say. When you Google it, Google says, are you talking about Modern Warfare 4? Modern Warfare Call of Duty or whatever. I just think it's crazy that something was amazing on Switch 2. That's, every day I send out. Yeah, I know. So tell me more. And so they finally broke the streak of a portable Call of Duty being good, and a Call of Duty on Nintendo hardware also being good. I got to play a multiplayer match, and it just ran buttery smooth. Some of the textures are really low because obviously it's a handheld, it's not a big old badass PC. But it was just super fun, and it
Well, that just about wraps up day one of Gamescom Studio 2026. In case you missed any of our interviews, game trailers, or other coverage, don't worry, you can find it all on IGN or IGN's YouTube channel.
And tomorrow we've got another big day of live coverage out of the Gamescom studio, including new looks at some huge and highly anticipated games like Fable, The Witcher 3's new DLC, Metro 2039, and LEGO Skylines.
We'll also have the Gamescom Awesome Indie Show, celebrating some of the coolest and most unique indie games at the show, so be sure to check out the official Gamescom YouTube channel tomorrow to learn about the next big wave of awesome indie games.
And don't forget to come back Friday for the Gamescom Award Show, where the best games of Gamescom and the people making them will be celebrated with prestigious awards.
But for now, thank you all so much for watching day one of IGN's live coverage of Gamescom 2026, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Fable.
IGN Store has everything you need to level up your life.
Red 6 standing by.
Refresh your wardrobe with official gear you won't find anywhere else. From Fallout, Expedition 33, Romeo's a Dead Man, and more. Treat yourself to the coolest collectibles like an adorable SKA plush, your very own Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade, and a fully functional Pip-Boy 3000. Or kick back and relax to your favorite video game soundtracks on vinyl. Whatever you need, IGN Store has you covered. Head to store.ign.com and start shopping today.
Can't find that final collectible you're missing? IGN strategy guides and interactive maps are here to help.
One step at a time.
IGN guides are trusted by millions, easy to use, and best of all, free. IGN has the very best, most complete and accurate guides for Shadow of the Erdtree, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and so much more.
See? It's good, right?
Every guide is tested and verified for you by experts. Just search for IGN when you search for guides.
Do you want to be the very best like no one ever was? Streamline your journey to becoming a master trainer with Planet Pokemon. Choose your Pokemon, filtering by type, stats, or game availability. Then use the full team builder to assemble an unbeatable lineup. Plan out the optimal set of moves, items, and abilities. Play to your strengths by analyzing your team's resistances and offensive coverage. Or really maximize your Poke potential by digging into the stats by adjusting EVs and IVs. And save multiple team builds for different strategies in different games. Plan your dream team today at planetpokemon.com.